Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all can see me. Welcome to TNB Virtual Business Solutions Seminar titled Managing Your Energy. Just a sound check. Type in the chat box. Yes, I can hear. If you can hear me clearly, just to do a sound check to make sure that everything goes smoothly, let me introduce myself. My name is Gajan Nat. I will be your MC for today. Now, first of all, I'd like to wish all Malaysians Selamat Hari Merdeka, Happy Independence Day. I do hope your patriotism and enthusiasm is just as high as 2 days ago, because today we are going to be really energetic. We're going to have a lot of questions, Q&A, so it's going to be very interactive. Now, to summarize what's going to happen today, we'll be sharing with you some of TNB's latest solutions. In fact, we have 5 sessions. Yes, we have energy management, we have Mavi, solar power, we have SARE, which is supply agreement renewable energy, and MREC, which is Malaysian Renewable Energy Certificate. Now, apart from that, we'll also be having a Q&A session, quizzes, a virtual comedy session, very rare, lucky draw, and also graphic drawing. So as you can see, the next 3 hours is going to be really fun. Now, first of all, I need to ask you all to change your names to your real name. So if you have not changed your real name, please kindly do so. I don't think I'll be able to see your list of participants, but please change to your real name. And the reason why is because this is an interactive event. We'll be having a Q&A session, and you might win some prizes later. So we want to make sure that we are interacting with the right person. So kindly do so. Rename yourself. I'll give you all like a few seconds to do that. So if you have a short name, it'll be best if you put your full name so that we are aware of who we are interacting with. Okay, once that you have done that interaction, okay, just a quick check. I'm unable to see the participants and I'm unable to see their chat box. So is that, are they on a different session or? Because I will require to see their chat, because I'm not able to see their chat box. So could you unmute and just, because I'll need to interact with the audience actually. Yeah, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just give us a few seconds. We just want to make sure that we are able to interact with you, because we have speakers later who will be presenting and they'll be having a Q&A session. So it'd be really nice if they could actually see your questions on the chat box, because right now we are unable to see. So just give us some time. In the meantime, remember your setting, do change your names to your full names so that we understand, we know who we are interacting with. Also, just a heads up, in today's 3-hour session, make sure that your hands on the keyboard, because we'll be doing a lot of interaction. So if you have any questions, you can actually just type in the chat box. At the moment, I'm unable to see the chat box. So, okay, Gajan, okay. Okay, I'm still unable to see what the audience is typing. The reason why is because later on, this is very important, because later on you'll be typing your questions and we have a Q&A session. Now, though the Q&A session is only 10 minutes, we will pick a few questions, but TNB will also answer the questions offline, right? So don't worry about that. You have any questions about our solutions today that we'll be presenting, feel free to type it in the chat box. We'll be more than happy to add value. Okay, give us a couple of minutes. We are just making sure that things go well in terms of the chat box.
Okay.
Wait, don't switch back. Huh? Just tell them, give us some time. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, I can see your chat box. I've logged in into a different device. And yes, Azha, I can see your comments. Abdul Rahman and NASA, thank you so much for the comments. Okay, now they've got that out of the way. Now settled. Finally, I can see what the audience is typing through a different device. Now, a little bit of tips on interaction, right? If you want to clap, you can either use the reaction button or you can just type in W's in the chat box. So I'm going to type in W's in the chat box. So can I see some W's in the chat box? Because W's, they resemble a clap. So later on, if you want to give a round of applause to the speakers, right? Or if you agree to something, feel free to type in W's. Or you can just use the emoji, right? On the chat box, you can put emojis. Exactly. So that's how we're going to clap today. Thank you so much. I'm looking at the chat box. Mahamud, right? Said, Darwis, Kairia, thank you so much. Ramesh, thank you. Okay, now if you want to laugh, because later we have a comedy session. If you want to laugh, you type in haha or lols. So can I see some haha and lols in the chat box right now? Exactly. That's how we do it, right? We normally on WhatsApp, someone tells a very lame joke and then you'll just have to play along and just type haha with a serious face. Exactly. Okay, you all can stop the haha and lols. So now you get it, right? It's a very interactive session. Okay, next one. Throughout the session, if you want to ask questions, just type it in the chat box. We have a team behind the scenes who will compile all the questions and they will be answered whether online through this session or offline. So don't worry about that. Okay, so now we have got all of that out of the way. Let's do a bit of warm up. Although today we are talking about green energy, I'd like to get to know about your, well-being. We have been working from home for 1.5 years now, right? Since the pandemic started last year. I'd like to ask you this question. What new skill or new habit did you pick up this year? Type in the chat box. I will start first. Few months ago, I started working out from home. So that is something new that I picked up this year. I've never done it before. So it's something new. Type in the chat box anything new, new skill, new habit you picked up. To laugh virtually. Okay. Yes, that's something new for me last year because I didn't know how to pivot to the digital world, right? I do stand-up comedy shows physical. Running and gardening. Yes, gardening is something very common. I've been hearing from a lot of people. Gardening, cooking, right? Running. Any other online and virtual skill, virtual presentation. Yes. A lot of people think that you can just copy and paste your physical presentation skills to virtual. And you know what? That's actually not true. Yeah, some things they overlap, but they are not a direct copy and paste. I had to relearn everything during the first MCO last year because I'm so used to physical crowds. And I was thinking, how do I do a comedy session virtually? Tabata workout, good. Virtual presentation. Aircon running day and night. Haha, yes. Aircon always the killer, right? Be a teacher. Yes, walking every morning and every evening. That's good. Running, yes. Mazliza walking every morning. Actually, that's good. So looking at Mazliza's comment there, just a fun fact. If you actually want to be productive, you actually need to get sunlight. So I didn't know about this because I'm always stuck at home, and I didn't know that sunlight is so important because it helps with your body clock. So if you don't get sunlight, your body clock does not function as well, and you won't be as productive as you could. So yeah, good job, Mazliza, working every morning and evening. That's good. Become a teacher, cooking, spend more time with family. That's good. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, nice to see the other side of you because at the end of the day, we're all humans. That is important for us to keep in touch with each other. Ask one another, hey, how are things going? Electricity bill discount from TNB. Haha, nice. Today you'll be hearing more. If you like that, who's it? Joffrey. Yeah, if you like that, you're going to enjoy today's session, right? Because today we're going to share with you how certain solutions can actually reduce your electricity bills. Enjoy the day, sir. Yes. Okay, thank you for all your No need to face jam. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for all your inputs in the chat box. Keep it going. One last question before I kick off the event. One last question. This is a bit more serious one, more work related. What are your green energy goals? I think everyone know what green energy is, but what are your green energy goals? Because some of y'all come from different industries. Some of y'all have different what do you call that way of working. What are your green energy goals? Type in the chat box. Do you are your hardware all the latest hardwares, but then you don't really have software? You don't have an energy management system to what to get the data and get your analytics. Is that your goal? Or all of your electrical equipments have all been quite old. They're consuming quite a lot of energy, and it's high time to change them. What are your goals? I don't know. Saving the environment. Yes, definitely. Saving the world, reduce electricity, energy efficiency, convert fuel light system with solar. Definitely, yes. Today we have a session on solar. Target for solar energy. Be green RE certified. Yes, we have a session on certification as well today. Zero carbon, thank you, keep it coming. 20 to 30% mix, monitor and manage. Yes, today we have a session on Maybe, which will actually talk about on how data is king and how you can crunch the data. Data is one thing, right? You have all the data. Another thing is, you need to be able to know how to crunch it, and Maybe is able to do that, in the form of analytics, dashboard, reporting, science-based reduction, use effective way to reduce the energy. Electric car, yes, that's the future. In fact, a lot of companies are already now launching hybrid cars. I'm a car enthusiast myself, and well, petrol engines are going to, extinct soon. So just a heads up. In fact, some companies have actually committed to say that I think like 2030, they are no longer going to build petrol engines. So it's either going to be hybrid or full EV. So yes, electric car, science-based. Okay, thank you. RE100. Yes, we have a slide on RE100 later in the My REC session, which is the final one. Reduce carbon. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, just a quick check with the committee team. Do we have all the speakers in place to proceed? Can the committee team unmute and just give me a heads up? Chat with you all. Not yet. So I need to buy some time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So just now you have mentioned your green energy goals, and that's what's that? That's something very nice to hear. But I'd like to ask you, like, what is your goal in the next 5 years in terms of the green energy? What do you see yourself? How many of y'all have? Okay, how many of y'all already have an energy management system? Just type yes. If you have an energy management system where it's able to gather the data and give you an analytics dashboard, you're able to do reporting. Type yes, so that at least TNB will also get a what do you call that? Engage. How many people has? Okay, if you don't have it, you can type no as well, so we can know how many people don't have an energy management system. Not sure. Okay, no. Okay, quite a 50-50 here. No. Okay, quite a number of no actually. Now going more like 60-40. Because a bit of fun fact, even though I'm an MC and a stand-up comedian, I also used to come from the IT industry. I used to be an IT consultant, and I totally echo whatever TNB is doing. Data is so important. Without data, you won't be able to do any analysis, be it current analysis or even like predictive analysis. Sorry, was away. Lunch delivery. Okay, Lim, I was just mentioning, how many of you all here have an energy management system? Because today we're going to present Maybe, which is able to gather all the data and give you a nice dashboard, in the form of qualitative, quantitative info, and you are also able to do reporting. So type yes if you have a current energy management system. Not really sure. Okay, that's quite interesting. I think this is really good information for TNB. At least now at least later when we present, maybe we'll know that this is something that we can really look into, working on it. Okay, manual system. Yes, Chia Xiang. Yeah, manual system. Yeah, a lot of people are now doing manual data. Like in my 6 years of being an IT consultant, I also know that even though in large businesses, sometimes certain parts, they do a lot of manual data that like they literally write things down. I think in the form of when we are talking about energy, I think there are lots of companies out there, they are still doing manual data capture in terms of like the meter reading. And today we're going to actually we are going to explain to you how all of this can be automated and how there can be a system to crunch the data and give you like the key findings, not just key findings, even predictive analysis. Okay, so Ate, okay, my next question, I believe we still haven't got the speakers ready yet. So my next question is for those who said yes, your energy management system, for those who said yes, how many of y'all here, you have predictive analysis embedded in your energy management system? So just I'll give you an example of a predictive analysis. I'm just thinking out loud, right? So if let's say I'm a business owner and I've got like tons of electrical equipments, like assets, and then suddenly one equipment starts to consume way more power than usual, despite having the same amount of time of consumption, this management system is able to detect the irregularity in that particular machine and say, hey, maybe it's time to look at this machine. Maybe it's time to check certain part of the machine. This kind, or like, how many of you have that kind of, okay, IR Azri, you said God, that's good to know. Yes, okay, some people said yes. So type yes if let's say your energy management system has got predictive analysis. Can also do forecasting, right? Like extrapolating your current data so that you can also plan. I think it's very good, right? You got a plan for your next 1 or 2 years. Okay, Faisal said no. Rami said yes. Keep the type, please input those who have got energy management systems. Type in the chat box if yours has predictive analysis, machine learning, AI. Yeah, because I think this is very important, because if you haven't realized, I'm very sure all of you all know, right? Because we are in a green energy seminar. So I'm very sure we all know that we are in IR 4.0. And if you look at IR 4.0, it's all about data analytics. It's about machine learning, right? Self-learning devices that constantly learn. Very much like your very much like a swipe keyboard, right? If you think about it, sometimes when you type sentences, if you keep swiping, eventually you'll swipe way faster because the keyboard is studying you, right? Based on statistics. So if let's say you put, okay, the standard one, like how are you? But yeah, it's predicting. So yeah, type in the chat box if yours has a machine learning. Benjamin, you said yes. Ramesh said yes, thank you. Manual comparative analysis on electric costs. Okay, so some of you are still doing manual. From the looks of it, I think a lot of y'all will benefit from today's session, because today's session is not it's not just data extraction and just reporting, hey, this is your data. It's also studying. And I think that's very important. I think we can no longer just show data, but there needs to be some study, some analysis being done so that we know what to do with the data. Right? And the analogy is very simple, right? If you show like the stock market, someone will just see, it's stagnant. But a pro or a system is able to detect a resistance line to say, hey, look, this stock is hitting the ceiling, and that's the. So this is the advantage of having a really smart system that's able to have AI and machine learning, because it's able to actually understand what are all the numbers, right? What do the numbers mean in your business, right? Different equipments and so on. Okay, do we have all the speakers ready? Just a quick check. Type, can the committee team just check?
And yes, type, we do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, we do.
Okay.
Get started. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Just a quick advice. It'll be nice if all of you be muted, including the speakers as well, so that we are all clear. Now they have got, we are all pretty warmed up. I'd like to thank all of those who type in the chat box. So why not give yourselves a round of applause for all of those who actually type in the chat box? Let me see some W's, because we want to keep this level of interaction throughout the entire session, because we are going to present a lot of things and we would like to hear from you, because it's a two-way interaction. All right. So keep the enthusiasm, keep the energy. I love it. Thank you so much. This is what we are looking for. And ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any further time, you all seem pretty warmed up, and I'm going to officially kick off today's event. So I would like to kindly invite Dato IR Megat Jalaluddin bin Megat Hassan, Chief Retail Officer of TNB, to deliver his welcome speech.
So thank you very much to our host today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, very good morning. Alhamdulillah. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone on this session today for being able and allocating the time to join us in the session that hopefully will benefit not only Tenaga Nasional but all the customers that we have today. So yang berbahagia, Datuk, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sebagaimana yang kita sedia maklum bahawa negara kita masih lagi dalam proses recovery with respect to the COVID-19 situation, and we are seeing some good indication with respect to the vaccination rate of the country, and we hope that this will continue to be good as we move forward, and we will actually receive a better and better way for us to basically do our life and at the same time perform our business. From the economic front, we can see that the country is expecting a good GDP growth this year, expecting the growth rate of GDP to be between 4 to 5%. Compared to a negative growth last year. And I hope that we as part of the whole business in the country will continue to support this recovery and contributed to the so-called economic growth and to the well-being of the rakyat as well. So as we are aware that our main challenges of today is about the social health issue as well as the economic growth, and we hope that 2021 will give us a better year comparatively to 2020, and we have the signs are going to be, we are seeing the good positive signs as we move forward. So looking from the energy front, as we understand it, there's a lot of focus as well coming in with respect to the ESG focus, environmental, social, and governance focus for the business in Malaysia. And TNB is one of the company that is very much involved and putting our own commitment with respect to ESG, environmental, social, and governance perspective. And recently, we basically make commitments of announcement on the carbon emission. The target is that we want to be carbon neutral by the year 2050. And today, we are going to have a session with all our esteemed clients who can join us today with respect to how we, Tenaga Nasional, can also support and help our customers and our clients with respect to the energy, and hopefully at the same time, we can also address the environmental and social issue with respect to the carbon emission, how best we can manage our energy so that we can ensure the future sustainability for our next generation. So that is the hope today. Itulah harapan kita mengadakan sesi pada pagi ini supaya kita boleh bersama-sama berkongsi apakah yang boleh Tenaga Nasional bantu dalam syarikat-syarikat dan pengguna-pengguna kita with respect to better manage the energy consumption for the customers in the hope that it will propel the best business opportunities for the companies as well as helping the environment as well as helping the country achieve the sustainability target. Jadi I hope that everyone will have a good session today. Saya berharap bahawa sesi ini akan menjadi sesi dua hala dan insyaAllah kebaikan yang ada dapat kita rasai bersama from not only from the business perspective as well as the perspective of the community so that we can propel Malaysia to the next level of sustainability and economic growth. Dan saya juga ingin mengucapkan selamat menyambut kemerdekaan kepada semua rakyat Malaysia yang berada di sini. Dan di samping kita sama-sama menghayati kemerdekaan yang kita ada, insyaAllah kita sama-sama boleh memupuk satu collaboration, business collaboration di antara tenaga nasional dan juga pelanggan-pelanggan dan seterusnya untuk memastikan the Malaysian community will have the best time to come in the future. So itu saja harapan saya. Dan sekali lagi saya mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada yang dapat hadir pada hari ini dan semoga apa yang kita bincang pada hari ini dapat memberi manfaat kepada semua, bukan sahaja tenaga nasional, pelanggan-pelanggan tenaga nasional, masyarakat dan negara umum. So thank you very much for joining this session, and with that I will pass back to our host.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dato' IR Megat Jalaluddin. As you all can see, carbon neutral is the way to go. And Malaysia is currently, we are recovering from the pandemic. I'm very sure we can do this. I have very high hopes. And next, I would also like to welcome and also thank Encik Nasaruddin Muhammad Zaini, Chief Customer Officer for Government and Large Business, for joining us today. Thank you so much, Encik. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you probably heard just now, that we have 5 sessions today, right? 5 sessions. Our first session is on energy management. Now, this session is going to give you an overall glimpse, an overall view, right? And our presenter for this session has been in TNB for more than 19 years. Yes, he currently leads the Business and Development Marketing Unit under Solutions Department. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome IR Muhammad Razif Abdul Halim. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Gajan, for the quick introduction. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all participants. As the first presenter, I have a huge task here to capture your attention and create a good first impression on this business solution seminar. I was informed that this is the first time this event is organized via online. So I hope it will be a success. A little bit about me. I'm Razif Halim, 41 years old this year, has been with the TNB for the past 19 years, and as mentioned by our host, Gajan Nat, a mechanical engineer by qualification, but since the last 6 years or so, has been into commercials, biddings, acquisitions, accounts management, business development, and also marketing. Today, I'll request roughly around 15 minutes of your time for me to share and discuss about what TNB can offer in terms of energy management. Next, Mimi. Okay, people might ask why TNB, as an electricity supplier in Malaysia, wants its customers to be more efficient in electricity usage. The answer is simple. We strive in enhancing our customers' experience and satisfactions towards our services. Plus, we want to be the enabler and support your ESG aspirations. What is ESG in the first place? ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. Investors and business owners alike are increasingly applying these non-financial factors as part of their analysis process to identify material risks and growth opportunities for a business. In other terms, ESG rating is an important factor if you want to increase your chances in securing business partnership with other companies that values ethical impact and sustainability of investment, especially with multinational companies from United States, United Kingdom, Japan, and Europe. Next. How TNB can be the enabler and partner for you to achieve your ESG targets? By providing arrays of solutions that will minimize the environmental effect. How can we achieve this? By providing solutions that can optimize your energy consumption, such as energy monitoring system and energy efficiency program, and also by providing solutions that can reduce your carbon emission, such as solar rooftop and electric vehicle and charging ecosystem. Next. If we can see on the major sustainability priorities in the slides here, we can see that energy is one of the areas that has been prioritized under sustainability initiatives. And based on the 17 elements of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG, as we can see here, TNB focus on at least 3 elements, which are number 7, the affordable and clean energy, number 12, the responsible consumption and production, and number 13, the climate action. Next. Okay, this slide will be a little bit long. How do TNB assist its customers on smart energy savings and improving ESG ratings? The answer is via optimization of energy consumption and sourcing the energy from the renewable source, such as solar. There are 3 steps involved, as we can see from the slides. The first step is to develop the baseline setting of your existing electricity usage. For example, if you are using 5,000 kilowatt hour per month, so we take that as your baseline settings. When the baseline setting has been set, then only we can understand your usage pattern and identify any potential gaps and savings opportunity. How this is done? Via energy monitoring and management systems provided by MEVI, our subsidiary focusing on energy monitoring systems. My colleague Faiz will explain more about MEVI later on. Basically, with MEVI, Energy Monitoring System, or better known as MEVI-B, you can have real-time energy feed, how much electricity you're consuming on that particular time, smart baseline, comparing your existing usage with your previous usage, meaning you can compare your current usage to previous weeks, previous months, or even previous years. Centralized monitoring, if you have more than 1 building or factories that you want to monitor at a single location. Carbon emission reporting, analytic tools that enables you to analyze and identify gaps in your daily operations and determine the potential savings based on the data. Basically, MEVI is making energy visible for you. Okay, after the step 1 is done, next step is to manage the gap and materialize the potential savings identified earlier by MEVI system. How do we do this? Via energy efficiency program offered by TNB Energy Services, our wholly owned subsidiary in energy services, and renewable energy program or solar rooftop offered by G-Spark, also our wholly owned subsidiary business specializing on solar investment. For energy efficiency program, mainly it will involve lighting, retrofittings, and air conditioning optimization. Equipment such as chillers and compressors will be optimized and to a certain extent will be replaced under the program. This is to ensure that the potential gap in terms of equipment efficiency can be addressed. During the contract period, you will receive expert advisory on the energy management as well as maintenance of the replaced equipment. So meaning to say, you will transfer the risk of the maintenance of the equipment during that contract duration to us. So less worries for you. Even better, this solution can be offered on zero capex basis. You don't have to fork out money upfront in order to enjoy this. As for renewable energy source, in this case, solar rooftop, apart from providing immediate savings in terms of your electricity bills, it will also provide green branding to your company and increase your ESG ratings in the long run. This solution is also available on zero capex, where we offer fixed solar tariff that is lower than your existing tariff. For example, if you are on tariff B for the time being, if you are paying 50.9 cents on average per kilowatt hour with solar, the portion that is generated by solar will be significantly lower than 50.9 cents. For example, we offer you solar tariff up to 35 cents per kilowatt hour. So you can enjoy immediate savings of what? Almost 15 cents per kilowatt hour. This solution is also available on zero capex, like what I said before this. And it also takes care of the maintenance of the solar panels and inverters during the contract period. So if you take the zero capex options in terms of solar rooftop, you don't have to worry about the maintenance of the solar panels and the inverters. These are the two main elements of the solar installation at your rooftops. When the steps above are done, all you need is continuous monitoring in order to ensure that all the initiatives are working well. With the continuous monitoring system also, you can measure your decarbonization and sustainability efforts effectiveness. We want to know whether the steps taken in steps 2 by energy efficiency, replacing your solar, installing your solar, replacing your aircons and whatnot, do give an effect to you. So this is where we implement continuous energy monitoring and management systems. With the continuous monitoring system, also you can measure your, with continuous monitoring, you can determine your preventive actions and plan for more green and carbon reduction initiatives. Okay, next, please. Okay, I have explained about MAVB earlier. This is an example of centralized monitoring dashboard where you can monitor. This is the outlook of MAVB, the energy monitoring system for large buildings that we can offer. Basically, it is a cloud-based online energy monitoring and management systems that enables you to monitor and analyze your energy consumption at your fingertips. This portion will be explained in depth by my colleague Faiz from MAVB later on. Next. Okay, as you can see on the slides that is being projected currently, this is an example of centralized monitoring dashboard where you can monitor and analyze the energy consumption data of your various buildings under one dashboard. For example, if you have 5 factories all over Malaysia, you can you want to monitor in a single location, it can be done through this energy monitoring system. From here, you can monitor the energy consumption pattern, carbon emission and building energy index, as well as carry out the analytics on the data populated by the dashboard. So by having this dashboard, you can immediately have your sustainability reports being done for you. Next. Okay, we go to energy efficiency as a service or energy efficiency program. This is an illustration of energy efficiency program, or what we call it, energy efficiency as a service. It is a combination of energy performance contract and equipment leasing as one. An energy performance contract is a model where an energy service company, in this case TNB Energy Services, our wholly owned subsidiary, achieves energy savings at your property as a service. This is a service provided to you. This model guarantees... Waalaikumsalam.
Maaf tuan, slide agak blur lah, saya tak boleh nak baca.
Oh, it's okay on my end. Gajen, how about you? Can you see the slides?
Yes, it's clear.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's the TC2 Elite. I think this is more of the middleware, I think. Because there are 2 Zoom sessions.
Okay.
Yeah. So on our end it's clear, but when it's going through a middleware like another system, then going back to Zoom on the other session, I think nampak kabur sikit.
I see.
Yeah.
So tuan yang bertanya tadi, boleh izinkan saya teruskan? Can we continue?
Yeah, I think Encik Razif, just continue because I think your explanation, you're summarizing the slide. So far, I understand what you're saying. Later we'll take it offline regarding the information on the slides with the audience. So you can continue, Encik Razif. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Gajen. Sorry, tuan yang bertanya tadi. We need to continue. This model guarantees savings for a set period of time in exchange for payment from the energy cost savings. Meaning to say, whatever savings that we get, we can share. In this case, any savings obtained during the contract period will be shared between you and TNBES who provide the service to you. But we up the game further by investing in your equipment such as compressor and chiller in order to reduce the energy consumption further with more efficient equipment. And this equipment will be funded through the projected savings that you will obtain. For example, if you can see the illustration or the table on the right of the slides, basically HVAC system take up almost 50% of the electricity consumption in any building setups. So these solutions also we can offer to you, zero capex. Zero capex in nature, this will provide zero financial risk to you, and at the same time, the cost and responsibility of the maintenance of the leased equipment, for example, compressors, chillers, LED lightings, will be under TNBS during the contract period. Why we say that this solution is a win-win solution? Because both you and TNBS are incentivized to increase the savings, as the savings are shared between you and the service provider. All right, next. Mimi, can we move the slide? Okay, thank you. Need to achieve sustainability target, but green energy is not as easily accessible to you? Fret not. We have an array of solutions to address your concerns. Next, Mimi. What is a renewable energy certificate? As you can see from the slides over here, a renewable energy certificate, so REC, represents delivery of 1 megawatt hour of renewable energy to the grid and all associated environmental benefits of displacing 1 megawatt hour of conventional power. What is this all about? As you can see, our grid is supplied by a mixture of green and brown energy. Brown from the thermal power plants such as coal, gas, and diesel, where green energy is supplied by solar, hydro, and biomass in Malaysia. So if you purchase REC, you can claim that your energy consumption comes from green energy resources. Basically, RECs provide green power options in areas that may not be suitable for renewable energy resources due to limitation of roof size or fulfilling the entire electricity consumptions. Let's say you have limitations of your roof areas, but you still want your energy supply to come from green energy. So REC is the solutions. Meaning to say, if you want your building to be supplied 100% by green energy, then REC is the way to go. My colleague Michael Yong over here will explain in detail about REC later on. Next. Okay, with regards to electric vehicle ecosystem, TNB is currently working with the authority, regulators, fleet operators, logistic companies, vehicle OEMs, and also corporate fleet owners in order to create the demand as well as the supply for the electric vehicle ecosystem, and at the same time increase the adoption of electric vehicle in Malaysia. Because it's like a chicken and egg. Without electric vehicles, it's difficult for companies to populate or install the chargers, because it's quite difficult for us to project the demand. Without the chargers, the users, the sellers, the OEMs will be quite difficult in order to address the range anxiety. Do I have enough chargers along the way for the OEMs? Do we have enough markets and take-up rates and everything? So in TNB, we want to help and assist in creating the supply and demand of the electric vehicle ecosystem in Malaysia. In this context, if you have your company fleet that require replacement and you want to increase your ESG ratings and reduce your carbon emission, then we can offer an EV alternative to you, complete with the charging infra and platform for you to manage your fleet energy consumptions. We also offer the maintenance package of the vehicle and charger for a peace of mind. So if you want to know more about this, contact me later on. Next. Okay, about capacitor bank. Okay, this is a bit different from other solutions. Other solutions focusing on optimizing your energy consumption and as well as reducing your carbon emission. But this solution is tailored specifically for companies that have an issues regarding their power factors. So capacitor bank is a solution offered to customers who are facing with power factor issues, which results in power factor surcharge in their electricity bills. Over here, I believe some of you has been imposed on power factor surcharge because of the your power factor is lower than the required numbers. Why there is a surcharge or penalty? Because we want our customer to use the power effectively. For customers who obtain their supply from 132 kV and above, you need to maintain your power factor above 0.9. And for power customers who obtain their supply from 132 kV and below, you need to maintain your power factor below above 0.85. So how to maintain your power factor? Easy. First is to ensure that your appliances installed at your site are efficient with periodical services. And number two, with the installation of capacitor bank. Here at TNB, we offer both single-phase and three-phase capacitor bank, complete with installation and after-sales service to our customers. So this is part of the initiative in reducing the carbon emission by encouraging our customers to be more efficient in their electricity consumption. Next, Mimi. Okay, so to recap, why TNB? Not only because we are your electricity provider, but we can offer all solutions mentioned earlier under one roof and can be managed in a single electricity bills. Your existing electricity bills, yes, these solutions offered to you can be managed in your existing electricity bills. Apart from the solution, the energy optimization and carbon reduction, our main offer to our customer is the seamless and convenient way for you to enjoy the solutions with zero upfront cost. Meaning to say, with us, not only you get the solutions, but the way you get the solution is seamless and convenient. So you can consider TNB as your reliable sustainability partner. Next. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, IR Muhammad Razif, for that wonderful session. Just ladies and gentlemen, just a recap. He mentioned about MAVI, renewable energy certificate, EV ecosystem, and I do echo whatever they've just said on the EV ecosystem. It's like a chicken and egg situation. I also believe it's also the product of the EV vehicles, because I believe those days, like 5 to 10 years ago, if you look at the range, right? Range on electrical motor, it's like 20 km, 30 km. Now vehicles can do hundreds of km, which hopefully will create the demand and also the supply. Let's hope for that. So yeah, thank you so much for the first session. It really gave a very good overview, glimpse on energy management. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our second session of the day, as mentioned, is about MAVI, which is a smart energy management system for buildings. Our presenter for this session, prior to joining MAVI, he was actually one of the trainers for e-Usahawan. He is currently the product manager of MAVI. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Encik Muhammad Faiz bin Ahmad.
Hi, thank you, Gajanet, for the introduction. Hi, everyone. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I'm Faiz from MAVI. So today I will talk about improving sustainability and resilience through energy efficiency with MAVI. So let's learn a bit on MAVI. So a little introduction of MAVI. MAVI is a software company where we specializes in IoT energy management, where we use technology to help our clients to understand and optimize their energy usage to achieve energy savings. So MAVI was founded back in 2018 by TNB Energy Services, a fully subsidiary of TNB, with more than 10 years of prior experience in software development and energy management. So we started off with MAVI Smart Home, which is a full smart home system designed for retail residential customers. And along the way, we received requests from building owners, from government and municipalities on how to monitor their energy consumption. So with that, we created or we released a new product, which is MAVI B. This is MAVI for Building Energy Management System. So what is MAVI B? So MAVI B is an award-winning online energy management system which provides detailed energy monitoring and analysis for buildings and electrical assets in real time at anywhere and anytime. So this system is cloud-based. So it allows centralized data storage and management. So it means that customers can view their data at any time from any devices, and it reduces total cost of ownership, and at the same time reduce the maintenance cost as it is a cloud-based compared to the compared to the normal server system, you will need a maintenance team to maintain the server. You need to maintain a certain temperature. So that is all an extra cost that is eliminated when you are using a cloud-based system. So this will provide greater data security than an in-house server. So the system itself is powered by AI, artificial intelligence, and also machine learning. So this will help you to monitor and manage your energy more efficiently. So back in 2020, we won an award from Frost and Sullivan for Malaysia Energy Management Solution New Product Innovation Award. So MAVB is a system created for green conscious organization. So this can help them in their mileage in terms of branding, in terms of worldwide acknowledgement. And it's a system created for building owners and facilities managers so they can have a better insight of what is going on in their building and how is it performing. They can have better reporting. And this system is also suitable for energy consultant, for energy managers and ESCO. This will help them to provide better report. They can have better insights to present to their customers, and it will ease their job by a lot. And this system itself is very suitable for governments, for municipal, for factories, for commercial. So this system is basically available for those that requires an extensive monitoring and detailed analysis. Maybe help organization to reduce environmental impact so they can track their CO2 emission, and at the same time will enhance reputation and reduce operational costs. And that will leads to improve a lot of improved competitiveness. And with MAVB, everything is achievable. So MAVB supports ISO 50001, which is Energy Management System. We support UNICEF Sustainable Development Goals, which is affordable and clean energy, industrial innovation and infrastructure, responsible consumption and production, and also help in fighting climate action and climate change. At the same time, the system also support Green Building Index. So how do we have your sustainability goals? So energy monitoring plays a big part towards a successful implementation of ISO 50001. So sustainable development goals and energy efficiency programs is widely affected by ISO 50001. If you are familiar with ISO continuous development or ISO management system, so PDCA is very, you can use PDCA on your energy management by using MAVB. So you can see here we have an energy efficiency pyramid. So when we talk about energy saving or ways to reduce your bill or ways to reduce your energy consumption, straight up people will directly comes into their mind is, okay, let's go to solar. Yes, solar is on top of the pyramid. Yes, so it's correct. And if you can see here, energy monitoring and management is at the base of your energy efficiency effort. So before you start with other effort, you can start with conducting an energy audit and analysis. So when you conduct energy audit and analysis, you can see which are the pain points or which are the items that charge more energy than others and than other appliances. You can see which area that needs improvement. And with continuous energy monitoring and management system, you can plan for your energy saving and efficiency program, and then you can go to a renewable energy efforts to increase your energy efficiency. So why do you need MAVB? So let us take this as an example. So this is a dashboard of your car. So when you are driving, you can see your dashboard of your car, and the dashboard shows a lot of indicators that tells you how is your car performing. You can see how many fuel that you got left. You can basically predict how many kilometers you have, and you can see whether there's any error. Is the temperature rising or it need to be serviced? The same goes to MAVB. MAVB gives you an overview of a building's operation. It shows you is it time? Is there anything that you need your attention? It will show you a real-time performance of your building. It will show you the real-time alerts on any abnormalities. and it allows you to plan on preventive maintenance. So overview on MayVB. So we have a dashboard here that shows a high level energy report of your assets to always keep you informed. And we have lens, which is a control page for you to where it will highlights and show main parameters for person in charge to always be on top. We have an analytics page here that will provide quick access to all your energy data, and you can assess it, you can access, you can conduct analysis, you can check for you can do comparison from time to time and anytime. And we also support predictive analysis. So the system basically will tells you when it's time for you to plan for your preventive maintenance. And we will also provide a public display, so you can put it on your lobby, you can put it somewhere so people, so your customers or the workers itself can see how they are doing. So the key features of the system itself, we support centralized monitoring. So if you have lots of buildings, if you have lots of factories, you can basically view all of the energy consumption all in one page. You can monitor, you can manage them, and you can identify energy savings opportunities, and at the same time improve your operation from no matter where you are. And at the same time, it provides you a real-time information. You can monitor, you can analyze and manage your consumption in real time. So when you have this ability, you can maximize your savings. You can identify and prevent energy wastage immediately. So maybe by using a cloud-based system, so we allow centralized energy database, so you can basically save on human resource costs. So for some of the companies that currently don't embark on EMS, so their energy managers or their electrical team, they have to jot down manually every meters in their premises to keep track on the energy consumption. But for maybe everything is done on the console, so you can have real-time data, correct and accurate data, and you can access it at any time, and making energy report easier for you to access. So you can basically conduct energy audit at any time and anywhere that you want. And you can also perform detailed analysis. You can compare how are you performing last year, how is your current performance. You can prevent you can see for last month consumption. So with this ability, it allows you to be on top of everything. It allows you basically to control your consumption. And maybe we provide detailed monitoring features. So you can have a detailed monitoring, you can monitor and analyze every appliances, you can monitor deep down into each floor, to each room, and you can see whether there's room for improvement. The system itself is hardware agnostic. Agnostic means that you don't have to change your hardware to maybe. It's not necessarily change to maybe. We can basically, maybe it's a software which allows you to integrate. So you just integrate your hardware with maybe, and everything you can view everything in our dashboard. Maybe also support sub 1 minute equipment profiling. So for factories, sub 1 minute profiling is very important, so they can see the performance of their equipments, and they can compare it with other operation data for better insight, whether it's time for the appliances or machines to be in service, or it's time to change the machine. And maybe other than sub 1 minute equipment profiling, it also comes with a low total cost of ownership. Means that to own maybe the cost is very low. This is a simple setup and zero maintenance. Maybe also support energy audit 24/7. Means that by a tap of your button on the console, you can have energy audit there and then. You can see all the important parameters. You can check for any energy wastage. You can do all your plannings just at the tip of your finger hand. And maybe also support sub-metering and billing. So for those, for those who have tenants, for those who require sub-metering, yes, we do support sub-metering and billing. So other value-added services, maybe it's being used as a data acquisition tool by a lot of EBSCO. So they're using maybe B as the tool to collect energy data and to feed into another system. And we have more than 30 parameters. We can collect more than 30 parameters. You can view it in the dashboard. You can do your analysis. So basically, it's a all-seeing eye. And at the same time, we also provide an asset profiling or operation improvement tool. So it can be as one of the tools to do asset profiling. You can monitor, you can profile each of your equipment. You can see whether it's need servicing. You can see whether it's not efficient, and you can provide. You can plan on your next action. The latest release from maybe is we are going to release a virtual energy management program. So it means that if you install maybe you can opt in for virtual energy manager, where virtual energy manager will help you to look after your energy usage. So the virtual energy manager basically will advise you what to do. Will advise you to check on something that that he thinks may be an issue. And you can have an energy audit. You can have it monthly. You can download monthly reports. You can get an energy saving program guidelines from the virtual energy managers. We also provide energy saving programs. So to have more info this, let's take it offline so we can discuss more. So it's very high. Let's go into the solution overview, a high level architecture. So how does maybe works? So you can install digital power meters at your main incoming, and you can go to your floor and you can also go deep down into your equipment. So for most building, digital power meter, there's already digital power meter installed. So what you have to do is just you have to buy the gateway and integrate with our system. So the gateway, we collect all the data from this digital power meter using RS485 and send it to our cloud server, and where the cloud server will do all the computing, and the data will be displayed in the web console. So the customer will view, you as a customer will view all the important data in one console. So let's say you have two buildings, one in Selangor, one in Johor. All the data will be displayed here. So you can see in real time, you can see how is it performing, and you can plan for your further actions. So hardware overview, we have Intel Power Edge Gateway that support green grass. We have digital power meters. We also have sub 1 minute delay energy meters, and also we support temperature and humidity sensors. So for cost structure is divided by 3. So the cost is the first cost is more on the hardware. So it depends on what item that you want to install. Do you need the sensors? Do you need sub 1 minute interval profiling? Or do you already have a digital power meter? Then the next item is on the subscription itself. So the subscription is relatively the cheapest in the market. I can assure you that, where the subscription is 175 per month, which is cheapest, and you won't get this value anywhere. And another thing is on the installation, where you can install it by your own, or you can we can help you to assign a contractor to do the installation for you. So our partners is Intel, and we are the gold partner for AWS, Amazon Web Services. Our customers, so this is a few of our customers here. We have a lot. We have universities, we have a lot of factories, and we have TM, of course, Tenaga Nasional, and we have Tabung Haji. So let's go deep down into the system itself. So let's learn more on the use cases of maybe B, so you have better understanding how the system goes. So here is the dashboard that allows you to have a centralized monitoring capabilities. So this system was installed in 11 Wisma TNB across the country. So you can see here, this is the dashboard. You can see here is an energy apportioning. It shows you a high level apportioning for Selangor, how megawatt they are consuming, for Pahang, Penang, and so on. And on the right here, you can see there's a total consumption chart. So we have an AI function here. You can see here for day 19 is the real-time consumption, and we can also forecast how much you're going to consume for that month. So this is an AI feature. And for this month, it shows you that this month the total energy consumed, and for last month, how many have been consumed. And we also shows total carbon emission, so you can check your last month, your this month, and also your forecast. We can also forecast on your emissions. We also shows you the building energy index. You can see more on the how we are doing this year, last year, and also the forecast. So basically, it's a one-stop monitoring center. You can view everything all in one dashboard. So this is the dashboard, a very centralized monitoring and a very high level. So let's go into detailed monitoring. So if you click one of these boxes here, it will brings you into a deeper analysis here. You can see I click into Selangor, it will shows you how the buildings in Wisma TNB Jalan Selangor performing. It shows you how much energy is being used for chiller plant room, for level 2, level 5, and so on. So you can check whether does that level basically require that much energy. So you can check for energy efficiency. And if you notice, when I click one of these boxes here, the total consumption for Selangor also changed. So basically, it can forecast for Selangor itself. It can forecast for also for another location. So you can monitor very detailed. You can monitor even to an equipment itself. So it shows you how much you are using, consuming, and is it really required to that equipment really require that much of energy? Is it efficient? So this is one of the analysis that you can do. And moving forward, with maybe you can this is one of the sample that we installed in manufacturing plant. You can use it to identify SEU, which is significant energy users. So if you have the ability to check which appliance or which devices use the most energy, or you can basically plan an energy saving program. If you can see here, for furnace, we have furnace 1, furnace 2, furnace 4, and so on. You can see their energy pattern and you can plan. So which equipment requires optimization. So moving forward from this SAU that we have been done, so we can proceed with identifying saving opportunities. So we can conduct consumption analysis and we can see whether there's any room for to proceed with saving. So from this data, we saw that equipment A, which is furnace number 1 and furnace number 2, and also furnace number 4, they were supposed to run on parallel, means that their consumption is supposed to be the same. But upon installing maybe this customer, for this specific customer, they are able to see that that's for furnace number 1, they are not performing really well and it's not on par with other appliances, with other equipment. So they know there's something wrong with this furnace number 1, and it's time for them to do optimization. So it was supposed that both equipment, furnace number 1, furnace number 2, was supposed to run at the same time. So when one is not performing really well, so there's something wrong here. So you have to go and check. So maybe give you this visibility. For equipment profiling, maybe also support equipment profiling. So this is a sample that from our customer data. The customer shows us that they have been using maybe for quite a long time, and they can see here upon using maybe, they can see a detailed analysis on how their split AC are performing. They can do energy profiling, and then it shows you how each appliances are performing. You can see here, this split AC was supposed to maintain below 2 amp, but for these two particular split AC, they are consuming they are using more than 8 ampere and sometimes almost reaching 10. So this triggers our customer to call their maintenance team to check on it. So upon checking, they found that the split AC needs service, which means need to clean all the dust, need to do all the regular maintenance. So upon they call for a service, which is from 8 a.m., they start and they prepare, and at 12 p.m. you can see the energy consumption drops really back to normal, back to 2 amp. So this is one of the points that you can do. This is one of the things that you can do. Maybe you can check for energy saving efficiency. You can check for inefficiencies, and you can benefit from that. For this particular customer, as you can see, they have 6 split current AC, and they managed to save about 2,000 ringgit per AC after using maybe. So there's a lot of savings, and with this saving, you can use that money for other opportunities. You can use it for other investment, and that is our aim, to provide you all this visibility so you can be in charge of your consumption. So let's go in detail. So this is a solution overview, a very high level dashboard. We can monitor electricity. We can monitor the temperature and humidity. You can monitor your carbon emission. You can monitor your solar generation, and you can also monitor your BEI. So this is a very high level dashboard. It's supposed to give you all the key data, and this is basically enough for you to check whether there's something going wrong. And if you require detailed monitoring, the system itself is very easy to understand, and you can see here, you can see the energy trend, and basically you can see for each level how many energy are they being consumed. So this one of the detailed features in Maybe. It allows you to have detailed monitoring. So we also have customers, fast food chain customers, so they can monitor all their branches in one dashboard. So a little bit we go deep down on the dashboard itself. We have energy apportionment, live energy feed, building index, and total carbon emission. You can have your comparison and forecast. This is the control page of the lens, or we call it as lens. So lens basically give you all the important views. We highlight critical monitoring parameters. So key person can always be on top of any issues. They can closely monitor the key parameters such as power factor, maximum demand. And this page is powered by AI and machine learning that provide meaningful insight, and it's easier for them to plan for preventive maintenance. And we have a gauge indicator that shows how we are using. We have a live chart here, in real time. Analytics. So analytics is one of the advantage if you are using Maybe. It provides you quick access to all recorded data. You can check up to last year or the year before. You can basically extract all the data. You can download. You can include it in your energy audit. As the system itself you can export all the data in CSV file, and it is in the format for energy audit. And the data helps you to have a better understanding of your energy usage. You can identify your wastage and see is there any saving opportunities. There's more than 30 parameters here. So whether it's power factor, maximum demand, or even power quality, everything can be monitored in one dashboard. You have online analysis. You can choose your parameter. You can choose your date selection. So it's easier for you to conduct online or offline analysis. So this one is a public display. You can be displayed in your lobby. You can display it on your billboard, a digital billboard. So this data is customizable dashboard. This public space is customizable, and it can be used to promote awareness and encourage viewers to be mindful of their daily energy usage. So one of the case study, we have customers in Putrajaya. It's a government office. So what they do, they installed Maybe, and they didn't engage with any energy saving effort, maybe any saving program. They just install Maybe, and they do monitoring for 1 month. So they monitor all the energy consumption. They put in public display in their lobby, and the next month the energy manager comes with energy saving program, energy saving effort, where it's the usual energy saving month, where they create a competition among the employees, where which level consumes the least energy will get a buffet or special dinner. So with only that simple effort, after using Maybe, with all the visibility that they have, they managed to reduce about 10% of their bills just by using Maybe with no investment. So solution overview, as I said here, you can see by level, which level use the most energy, the less energy, how does it change. You can see the building information. You can see how much carbon have you been released. You can see your solar consumption, solar generation. So there's a lot of data, which is a key information that can be used to promote awareness. So everyone is on board, and your energy saving effort will be much more easier to achieve. In summary, our solution is an adaptation of smart technologies. We provide smart reporting dashboard of energy-related indicators, and we promote energy conservation, promotes green building, and promotes carbon reduction. So by using Maybe B, I can see that 20% saving is easy. You can easily achieve that. Up to 10% savings at no cost means that no energy saving program, no energy saving contracts, and more than 50% EMS problem was due to server. And you can achieve more than 70% efficiency with an active system. So maybe it's an active system. So you can achieve more than 70% of energy efficiency. I would like to end my session here with a quote. Measurement is the first step that leads to control and eventually to improvement. If you can't measure something, you can't understand it. If you can't understand it, you can't control it. If you can't control it, you can't improve it. So in conclusion, you have to have an EMS, you have to have the ability to view your consumption, to measure it, and then understanding and moving forward, you can control and improve it. With that, I end my presentation and back to you, Gajen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Encik Faiz, for that wonderful speech. You know, just to recap, ladies and gentlemen, Maybe does wonders, right? It provides detailed energy monitoring system analysis for buildings, has AI, machine learning, and then you have got a dashboard, reporting, predictive analysis, you know, preventive maintenance, very important. That's something that you want to focus on rather than corrective maintenance. Thank you so much, Encik Faiz. Also, to all the participants, I understand in the first session, some of the slides were a bit blurry, so we apologize for that, but I'm very sure it's been fixed now based on what I've seen in the chat box. Now we're going to move on to the Q&A session. I did see some of the questions that are being posted in the chat box, so thank you for that. So I'd like to invite back IR Razif and also Encik Faiz back on screen as we are going to proceed with the Q&A session. Now, just to let you all know, the Q&A session is about 10 minutes. Not all the questions will be answered, so FYI, but don't worry, TNB will answer them offline. So do not worry if your questions don't get answered in this session. Everything is good. Okay, so let me just go through some of the questions. Okay, first one, will TNB share the slides with us after the session today? Are you all muted? Sorry, I cannot hear you all.
Hello.
Okay, hello. Yeah, I can hear you all. Yeah.
On my side, I have no issue to share the slides.
Okay, then we'll move on to the second one. This is from IR Para Bagaran. So zero capex option. Can you give us more explanation? So anyone would like to take it? Zero capex option. Yeah.
Okay, can I take this one?
Yep, sure.
So if I pronounce correctly, IR Bagaran, in answering your question, zero capex meaning to say, if we take solar, a rooftop solar solution, for example, if we are offering two options. First is outright purchase, where, for example, if you purchase the solar solutions, this is metaphorically, if we take 10 kilowatt size, you are paying 40,000, for example, for outright purchase. But if you don't want to pay 40,000, we can structure it to be zero capex, where we introduce a solar tariff to you. You pay lower than your existing tariff to us through your existing electricity bills, and at the same time, this solar tariff will offset the cost of your solar installation. So that's what zero capex means. So in layman's term, you don't have to fork out money upfront in order to enjoy the solutions, in order to enjoy the savings. That's the design. That's the reason why I say you can see the immediate savings when you go solar with us under zero capex program.
Thank you so much, IR Razif. Next question is from Khairul Azwan. Can TNB advise the best tariff?
The best tariff. Okay, we have an array of tariffs, and TNB tariff A for domestic users, like you and me using in our house, tariff B for normal buildings, tariff C for big customers, D, E, and so on. So what's the difference between this tariff is the usage, where they tap on what kind of industry, what kind of sectors they are in. Because I have to be frank over here, because our electricity market in Malaysia is cross subsidized. Okay, and we are not merchant market. We are what you can say regulated markets. So when regulated market, there are certain sectors or certain users that tends to what you say pay for others, or subsidize the others. So in order to have different sets of tariff, in order to enable this, so that people in the B40 can enjoy lower tariff if they use lower electricity, and certain up and coming business sectors can enjoy lower tariff in order to spur the economic activities and whatnot. So in order to answer your questions, the best tariff is depending on the type of business or the type of usage of electricity that you are on now. We are happy to advise you further regarding your tariff.
Thank you so much, IR Azif. So next one, this one I believe is for Muhammad Faiz, Encik Faiz, right? So does the Mavi system able to capture up to PQ level?
At the moment, no, but it will, yes.
Okay, so I believe it's further updates.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have more than 30 parameters. So it up to the customer which parameter that they want to check, they want to monitor. So I think this requires further discussion with the one sending questions. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The next.
Gajan, if I can help with that question, maybe you can give an example for the Wisma TNB that you showed just now, how many sensors that you put over there in order to enable that kind of data churning, something like that.
So let me share my screen here. So basically, the parameters depends on what are the types of hardware that the customer have. So if you already have a digital power meter at your site, so we have to check, does your digital power meter collects all the required parameters? So for our own meter, we can suggest we can suggest few meters for you to use. So for some meters they up to 30 parameters. For some meters they can only collect up to 5 parameters. So that's why it's better for us to have a discussion with the customer to see which are the devices, what are the devices that they have, and what are the limitations for their devices. So if they were to monitor few parameters, they can basically just send us a sample or send us a picture of their devices, so we can reply whether is the meter able to collect that parameter that they want.
Okay, thank you very much, Encik Faiz. Next question, also on Mavi. This is from Muhammad Fazli Mansoor. Can you cover more on the back-end requirement for existing setup?
Back-end requirement. So I think it's more on the hardware setup. Yeah. All right. So for basically, the digital power meter need to be tapped at the main incoming, and for subsequent level, you can put it by each level if you want, or you can directly tap into each which requirement that you want, or equipment that you want, and you can also put in sensors, such as temperature sensors, such as humidity sensors, and this meter, all of them, these devices will be connected using RS485 with daisy chain setup, daisy chain, and from the main incoming, it will be connected to the gateway, also with RS485, and the gateway will require data or Wi-Fi to send data to our cloud server. All the calculation, all the AI will be done in the cloud server, and the cloud server will then project the data in the web console. So basically, that's all the requirements. So you can project it at any devices. You can project it. You can view it through your Mac, through your laptop, even to your smart TV, you can view it there. And yes, basically that's it. That's not much requirement on maybe.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question is from IR Para Bagaran. So, can TNB sell Maybe service to a building owner?
Yes, exactly. Yes. So nowadays, building owners they require to they are getting more energy conscious. They are constantly looking for ways to achieve energy savings. So by using Maybe they can install it at their buildings. They can see for any opportunities on energy saving. They can do sub billing. So there's a lot of opportunities for energy saving for building owners. So yes, to answer that question, yes, they is applicable for building owner as well, especially the high rise or those with billboards or with HVAC with chillers.
Okay. Okay, we still got 2 more minutes left. So I think I'll move on to the last questions. By the way, if your question didn't get answered, don't worry. All right, TNB will answer your question offline. All right, just for this session. Okay, this is the final one. This is from Pon Nur Saida Muhammad. So Maybe is specifically for a premise or applicable to one area. Example, residential area.
Come again, the question?
Maybe is specifically for a premise or applicable to one area.
Okay, so Maybe is more on the is for the commercial users. You can use it for one or more buildings, for one or more premises. We suggest for those commercial customers to install Maybe so they can have more visibility. And for residential, we suggest for them to install Maybe smart home for energy saving purposes, for energy saving efforts. And for JMB, for apartment, for condominiums, yes, they can install Maybe. So they can basically see how much they are consuming for all the essential light, for the all essential consumption. And they can basically look for way for improvement. So for JMB, basically there's a sample here. They can tap at the pump, the water pump. They can see how the water pump are performing. And for some JMB, they already installed solar, so they can see how much they are generating from the solar, and they can do the calculation, and thus it creates into savings or reduction in the monthly maintenance fee that the owners have to pay. So there's a lot of opportunities here with Maybe.
Thank you very much, Encik Faiz. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our Q&A session. All right, like I mentioned just now, don't worry, your questions will be answered after this. Once again, thank you so much, Ayar Razif and Encik Faiz. Thank you. And that's the end for Q&A session 1. All right. Now, next, we are going to actually move on to the graphic drawing, because remember in the beginning, I did mention we actually have a snippet of Tika using her drawing skills to actually summarize the event. Yes, she's actually doing some beautiful graphic drawing. I'm a big fan of graphic drawing. You can see a snippet in the next couple of seconds. Very interesting, something that I'm a big fan of, drawing. There you go. I love it, love the colors. I wish I could come up with a slide like that, but this is all hand, right? It's all hand drawn. And I wish I had like 50% of the skill. I'll be really happy. So yes, you will also receive the summary of the event, whatever I just saw just now after this event. So yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the trivia quiz. Now this is going to be quite interesting because for this trivia quiz, you're going to have 2 questions and you will stand a chance to actually win a Touch and Go e-voucher worth 50 ringgit. But you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention on how to win this. Okay, obviously the questions are going to be about the first 2 sessions. Okay, first of all, because there are like 100 over people in the participants, so I'm going to ask you to type a certain word, all right? And based on the quickest person to type a certain word, you will stand a chance to answer the question. If you answer it correctly, and then you win the prize. If you don't answer it correctly, we'll move on to the second fastest person to type that certain word, which I will mention later, all right? Siapa cepat dia dapat lah, all right? As simple as that. Okay, so can I get you all to type TNB in the chat box? Type TNB. Okay. Wow, there's too many. Okay, enough already. Stop typing. We got more than 20. That's enough already. enough. Stop typing. Okay. Because I'm looking at the chat box, just keep going out. So we have our first first participant. Can we have the question, please? Can we please pose the question? Okay. So my question to Mizan Yahya. Mizan Yahya, I believe you're the first one to type TNB. State one of the benefits that maybe can offer. Please, what do you call that? Please turn on your webcam and unmute yourself. By the way, I won't be able to hear them. Can the committee team direct the audio of the participant? Okay, I'm hearing through my iPhone, sorry. That's correct, is it? Okay, congratulations. Let me just, sorry, this is a bit... Okay, it'd be nice if, let's say, the committee team can actually direct the audio to the other Zoom session, so that's easier for me, or else it's very difficult for me to actually monitor the participants. But yes, you're correct, Mizan Yahya. All right, let me just check the chat box once again. You have just won yourself a voucher. TNB will actually get in touch with you. Just share your name and your contact number in the chat box. Okay, now my next question. Okay, next question. Okay, I want you all to type virtual in the chat box. Type virtual in the chat box. Okay, enough. Stop typing virtual. Okay, we already got like 10 people. Okay, so my question is to Andrew Theo. Can you please unmute yourself? By the way, can you please unmute yourself? Yeah, what is the answer? The question is, state one of the major sustainability priorities for energy management. Can the organizers please show the question on the screen? Yes, I can. Yes, I think that falls under one of the answers. And congratulations, Andrew. So you have also won the second prize of the day. Thank you so much. By the way, to the organizers, it'll be nice if you all can channel the audio, the participants' audio, because it's quite difficult for me to actually listen to them because I'm using a different device, and I wouldn't want their different device to have an external audio that's coming into my mic. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with our trivia quiz. Don't worry, there's another 3 questions. Congratulations to our 2 participants. Now, just now we did speak about energy management, right? From a very broad perspective. And then after that, we went into maybe which can do a lot of things, right? Like monitoring, right? Your data, and also coming up with very nice dashboards for different premises. If you've got different factories, right? Different assets. I think just now NGFIS also mentioned you can drill down to the equipment. So that's very detailed. Right? Got a lot of machine learning stuff. And now we're going to move on to solar. And I think just now in the chat box, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of you all asked about solar as well. This is going to be interesting because I strongly believe solar is also one of the ways to move forward. So our third session is Green Energy, Save Your World with Solar. Our next presenter for this session, she has been in TNB for 18 years. That's a really long time. ETNB in 18 years is currently the team lead of G Spark's marketing, sales, and customer service team. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's see some W's in the chat box. Let's give a big round of applause to IR Nur Ziha Zainul Abidin.
We can't hear you, lah.
We
Yeah,
cannot
muted.
hear the. We cannot hear.
Sorry, I've been muting myself. Sorry. Okay, good morning. My name is Norziha, and thank you for having me to present to you about this solar solution. So actually, quite, I would say 30% of what I'm going to explain in a while have been covered by IR Razif. Okay, but since I see a lot of interest and excitement about solar, so I hope in my session, you would be able to get more clarity on what we can offer under this G-Spark solar solution. Okay, next page, please. Let me know if you don't hear me clearly. Yeah, sorry, I had a glitches this morning, so I have to use my mobile. Okay, right. So who is TNB? Sorry, who is G-Spark? G-Spark is actually a wholly owned subsidiary of TNB. Okay, and we were established in 2018. Okay, yeah. If you were to compare us with other, players or solar companies, we are quite new. We are like sort of the new kid on the block. The reason is simple. TNB decided to get into this business at the right time, which is in 2018. So that's why we are quite new. But even though we are new, we are actually very proud to say that we have secured 840 projects, close to 900 projects, and now it's totaling to 103 megawatt. And this is just on the rooftop alone. Okay, perhaps if you look at other companies' profile, they record a higher capacity. That is because their profile also include solar farm or the ground mounted solar. Whereas in TNB, the solar farm is undertaken by a separate subsidiary called TNB RE. For G-Spark, we are only focusing on rooftop solar. Hence, this number is just on the rooftop solar alone in Peninsular Malaysia. So who we are, okay, there are two types of players in the solar as a solar provider. One is as investor and the other one is as the solar installer. G-Spark actually plays both roles, or actually we are leaning more towards being an investor. So what does it mean? Okay, just now Razif explained to you that we have a solution that we offer to you at zero capex. So this is where G-Spark offer to install solar installation for you at zero cost. You don't have to come up with any cost at all. So does it sound too good to be true? It is true, and this is what we have already offering to our customers, where like we have 200 customers, over 200 customers is already on our zero capex solution, okay, and more to come. So this is where I would explain to you how does this work. So just now, Razif also mentioned about the solar tariff that we are offering. So this is part of the business model that we are offering under the zero capex solution, where G-Spark is the investor. So being an investor, not only we finance for your rooftop solar solution, we also take care of the whole process end to end, meaning from the consultation, installation, maintenance, monitoring, repair throughout the contract period. And what's best is after that, we hand over the system to you at a very good condition. So that is about who we are and what role do we play in the solar industry. Can we go to the next slide, please? All right. Okay, let me know if there is any glitches here because I can't even see certain things. Okay, so just to emphasize you who we are in TNB, like I said, we are a wholly owned subsidiary of TNB. So you don't have to worry when you go solar with us. You have the confidence, the expertise, and also the backing by TNB through G-Spark. Okay, so G-Spark is actually part of the retail family, and today when we have this BSS, it's actually we are as TNB Retail offering this solution to all our customers. Next slide. Okay, yeah, so this is my team. So just to let you know, our office is in TNB HQ in Bangsa. Okay, and it's one of the building in TNB HQ. And my MD is the one in the middle, Elmi Fairol, and I'm heading the technical sales and marketing for G-Spark. So next slide. Yeah. Okay. Just before that, how many employees or staff that we have is around 20, but we work a lot with our partners to actually deliver the solar solutions to you. And we cover the whole peninsula Malaysia, not only in KL, not only in Penang, but we cover the whole peninsula. So that is where one of our strength is, because regardless of where you are, we are able to provide you the solution. So being a trusted, solar PV partners, again, like I said, we are part of TNB. So not only we look at or we offer you solar solution, but when we come and meet and approach you, we also bring other suites of solutions, such as just now Maybe, and then later we talk about REC. There will be a talk on REC and many others. So this is the strength that we are bringing to the table, not only looking at solar, but other things that we will see fit for you as our customers. Okay, next slide. All right. Okay, just now I mentioned that G-Spark acts as an investor. So this is where we work with the installers who are available in Malaysian market. So who are these installers? So these installers are registered with SEDA and ST, and they actually participate as our vendor. So we have a vendor program where we open to local installers to participate and become our vendor. So when we do the installation, some of the installation is done by our vendor. Why we have this program is because we are creating economy. We are spurring up the economy for everyone. So not only we would like to spread the benefit and spread the profit with everyone. So that's why we have this vendor program. Okay. If there is any questions along the way, please feel free to stop me, and I'm happy to answer your questions. And also for those who are interested to become a solar installers, you could also register with us. But what we put as a requirement is you need to be a registered solar installer with SEDA, and SEDA has a list of requirements that you need to fulfill. So yeah, we opened to everyone to become our installers as well, and share this prosperity in the solar industry. And in terms of the equipment, okay, when we talk about solar, there are two major equipments involved in the solar installation. One is the solar panel, and the other one is the solar inverter. So when we talk about these two major equipments, definitely as number one solar PV investor in Peninsular Malaysia, we definitely select and pick and choose only the best equipment that we provide to our customers. So for example, for panel, we only source for tier 1 panel. So what are the tier 1 panels? It's actually by the BNEF publication. It's a global publication that has a certain stringent criteria to be in the tier 1. So tier 1 is like the top tier in the panel category. So who are they? So for example, is QCell, Trina, Jinko, Canadian. So these are the tier 1 panels. In terms of inverter, definitely we only go with the leading inverter technology. Also, you could also check out some publication in BNEF. They also listed down a list of inverter manufacturer that is actually top in the market globally. So we are actually going with this brand. For example, Sungrow and Huawei are the top two brands in the inverter manufacturer. Okay, next slide. Okay, so for those who haven't seen how panel looks like, so this is how it looks like. Regardless of the brand, actually the look is about the same. It's dark blue in color. Each panel is about 2 by 1 meter squared, and the weight is 25 kg. But when you put on the rooftop, it forms a uniform distributed load. And we understand that maybe you are concerned whether your rooftop could actually take up the loading from the panel. Don't worry, this is what we would be checking before we actually say it is safe to actually install on your rooftop. So these are as part of the safety measure that we take, where we do thorough checking, including we hire third-party consultant to actually check from the civil and structural assessment. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, so this is how an inverter look like. So this is for the commercial scale inverter. It could be 33, 50, or 40 kilowatt, meaning if we were to install you with a 200 kilowatt system, we may need to use 4 of the 50 kilowatt inverter, which will be placed normally in the LV room or in the MSB room. So this would be surveyed and agreed with customer, where do we locate all this inverter, and normally it is wall mounted. Okay, next. All right, just now, if you notice, in the first page, we actually highlighted to you, we have secured 800 plus project, and the total capacity is 103 megawatt. Actually, now it's already 103 megawatt. Okay, so basically, who are our reputable clientele? Okay, so if you see here, these are what the one that goes into the headlines. Example, we signed agreement with Mydin back in 2020. Okay, so we secure like 8 projects Mydin Hypermart, and one of it's completed, and we have a few more ongoing. We also did a lot for local council, Majlis Perbandaran. So we have yesterday the news came out with the UTC Perak where it's already energized. We did for Majlis Bandaraya Seremban, we did for Seberang Perai, and we did for many other local council. We also did for university. So if you see one of the picture where YB Yobiyin was there, so that is the one that we did for a university in Terengganu. So and also we did for school. So if you see the one that the one with the big panel, that is our project with a school in Penang. Okay, so yeah, we actually serve and provide solution to all kind of customers regardless of where you are. Definitely there is a criteria that we have to look at, whether we would advise you accordingly, the size, whether it's suitable for you or not, and what are the scheme that we are able to offer to you. This is part of our consultation and it is free of charge for you. Okay, next. Okay, so just another one that we would also like to highlight, because to us, it is a very important and big milestone to us. We managed to also secure a project with JKR. So knowing JKR is like the engineering department of, of the government, getting their trust to actually, award us with this project is a big achievement. So with JKR, we will be doing for their 12 buildings and many more to come. So this is just a starting point. So next. All right, of course, we would also like to highlight our achievement. So if you see here, we won one of the award called SEBA SME of the Year Award for Best Brand in Rooftop Solar Solution in Powering Green Energy 2020. So this is to recognize our success, our effort in bringing up green energy solution for everyone and being part of the SME. Okay, next. All right, I think by now, everybody is already know why you want to go solar, but just to reiterate, what are the benefits that you could get by going solar? The first one, definitely you get to reduce your electricity bill. Okay, how so? This is where we would explain, but simple thing is like solar is just another form of electricity. But the difference between solar and what TNB supply to you is solar is actually free energy. Okay, you just have to pay for the setup, but the energy, the fuel is free. So this is where solar is actually cheaper for you. And what's best is solar is offered to you at 0 capex. So that means you don't have to spend a single cent to own this system. And what you get is monthly, you see reduction in your electricity bill. So how so? This is where we say that we offer you a solar tariff that is lower than what TNB charges you as a regulated tariff. Okay, and also because solar, when we charge you a solar tariff, it is fixed throughout the contract period. This is where you get to hedge your electricity cost against any tariff hike. We know TNB normally, based on increment and IBR mechanism, we are allowed, TNB is allowed to revise their tariff every 3 years. Okay, and what is the rate? 3% every year or 9% every 3 years. So with this tariff hike, if you are not sourcing your energy from other sources, you are exposed to this tariff hike and you are exposed to higher electricity costs, over the years, that will grow over the years. With solar, this is where you could actually hedge or protect your electricity costs against this tariff hike for the portion that is served by solar. Okay, and other than that, of course, you're playing your part in the green, helping to green the environment, the earth. And also we know more and more company has an ESG target to meet. So solar is one of the way for you to meet your ESG target. And what's best is you don't have to spend for it. And again, because why? It is offered to you at 0 capex. Okay, next. Any questions so far that I could take up? Or how many do I have more time to actually present? Okay, just a bit more, just to clarify things that what Razif presented earlier. So actually, when we talk about installing solar for your rooftop, what are the enabling scheme that is available for you to install and reduce your electricity bill? Okay, well, the answer is that depends on which industry you are. If today here we have mostly from GLB, right, from the commercial and industrial, what is applicable to you is NEM Nova. You can see there, NEM Nova, which is for commercial and industrial. Okay, but a bit unfortunate, what I'm going to say is this NEM Nova is no longer available, as in the quota has been fully taken up. So what is NEM in the first place? NEM is where when you install solar, you will be using the energy from solar first. The building will consume the energy from solar, but if you have any excess solar energy, this is where you can sell back to TNB and TNB buys back from you. Okay, so there are three categories of NEM: domestic, NEM Rakyat, NEM Gomen for government building, and NEM Nova. Okay, now for NEM Rakyat and NEM Nova, the quota is still plenty, but unfortunate for NEM Nova, the quota is already taken up. But the question is, does it mean no more NEM quota for CNI, commercial industry? Does it mean you cannot go solar anymore? The answer is no, because that is only the part that you have to sell excess. But if your premise is, especially if your premise is operating 7 days a week, so when we install solar for you, it's purely based on self-consumption, means 100% solar energy generated will be consumed by your building. And this is still, especially for those who are operating 7 days a week, this is a still very good proposition and a very good scheme for you to consider, because we are still able to offer you at zero capex if it meets our eligibility criteria. So that means even though without NEM, you can still install solar to reduce your electricity bill, but the scheme is just called self-consumption, and we are probably most probably we are able to offer this installation at zero cost to you. Okay, all right, next slide. All right, so this is just a schematic to actually depict what I explained about this NEM scheme. So basically, the setup for solar is very simple. It doesn't take a scientist to actually set up a solar on your rooftop. That's why you see a lot of solar company in the industry. But of course, this question is whether they have the experience, they have the reputation or not. But the installation is quite simple. You just put on your rooftop, okay, where the solar will be actually lined up on a railing, or we call it mounting structure. This mounting structure will be fixed to your rooftop, and it can cater to any kind of rooftop. For houses, it's a roof tile, and for factories, normally metal deck and also reinforced concrete. So we have all kind of solution to fix to the rooftop, and then only relay the panel on the railings, on the mounting structure. From there, the wiring from the panel would actually be channeled to the DB board. Okay, for if it's a factory, then you call it MSB or the LV room. So this is where it will be tapped, or it will be connected to the outgoing of the DB board or MSB board. And this is where, when solar energy generated, the building will be using the energy from solar first. TNB now becomes your backup supply only. Okay, and under NEM, if there is any excess, if you see there's a NEM meter and the green arrow going out of the building, that is where the excess solar energy will be pushed out to the TNB, and under NEM, TNB will buy back from you. So now under Celco for Nova, for commercial industrial, because NEM is no longer available, you just don't have that green arrow going out of your building, because you are not allowed to sell any excess solar to TNB. So that is the difference between NEM and Celco. Okay, next. MC, please let me know if I'm like nearing my time, yeah? Okay. Okay, I think we just skip this. Can you just go next? All right, I think this is where I would like
Lagging.
A little bit. Okay, yeah. Can you hear me? All right, good. Okay, so under this is like the graph is actually to depict the zero capex solution to you, and how it works. So basically, to enjoy zero capex, you need to sign a contract with us. Yeah. So the contract is designed between 15 to 20 years. You decide this at the point of we give you option, and you need to decide beforehand which contract term you opt for. So let's say you go for 20 years, because if you go for the maximum contract that we can offer, that is where we can offer you the lowest solar tariff. Okay, so if you look at the orange graph, that orange graph is actually showing you the solar energy that you have to pay to G-Spark. But because the solar energy is offered to you at a lower rate or lower tariff, this is where you get your saving. Okay, just now there's a question to Razif, how much TNB can offer you for the solar tariff? So the answer is it depends. Okay, if we but what is sure is if we can offer you this zero capex, definitely the solar tariff that we offer will be lower than whatever you pay to TNB. Example, if your tariff be 50.9 cent, and let's say your solar installation is quite sizable, we may be able to offer solar at 38 cents. So 50 cent compared with 38 cent. Let's say you're from industry, you're paying tariff E 33 plus cent, right? So let's say your installation is big, 2 megawatt. So we are able to offer anything below 30 cent for solar. For example, let's say 28 cent. Yeah, I'm just plucking the number, but something in that range is normally that we offer to customer. So now you pay to TNB at 33 cent, but for solar, you just pay at 28 cent. So you look at that, the difference in tariff, that translates into your saving. And if you look at over 20-year period, since TNB tariff is expected to increase, if what you're paying now is 33 cent, but maybe 20 years down the road, you already pay at 70 cent, but solar tariff is fixed still at 28 cents. So that is where your saving would actually grow over the years. So this is what we offer under the zero capex solution. Not only we offer in terms of lower tariff, but we also take care of your system throughout contract period without any single cent from you. So if you see at the small icon, first is the zero upfront cost. Second, immediately after we install for you, the first month that you receive your bill, straight away you see some saving. And that fixed and lower solar tariff throughout the contract period, as shown by the orange graph, inclusive of repair, maintenance, and replacement throughout the contract period. Okay, 24/7 monitoring, meaning that we give you the online monitoring, and it's the same thing that we have at our end. This is where we monitor 24/7. And at the end of the contract period, we hand over the system to you. Full ownership at the end of the contract period. So this slide basically summarizes what we offer under the zero capex solution. Okay, next slide. All right, this is just to give you a number figure for those who prefers numbers. So just now I told you, right, example, if your tariff be 50 cent, perhaps for your solar, we can offer at 40 cent. So this is where when you look at the numbers, if normally you pay to TNB, let's say your monthly usage is 10,000 kilowatt hour, okay, and then we can offer you, let's say you pay to TNB 50 cents. So monthly you are paying to TNB 5,000 ringgit, okay. But under this solar, let's say we can put 50%, we can serve 50% of your usage from solar. So 50% come from TNB, which is 5,000 kilowatt hour, and another 50% comes from solar. But solar is offered at 40 cents. So if you look at the rightmost, circle, with solar, your building's bill would be 5,000 kilowatt hour times 50 cents, the normal TNB tariff. That gives you 2,500, and 5,000 for solar times 40 cents, 2,000 ringgit. So when you add up the two, your total bill with solar now becomes 4,500 ringgit. So you compare that with your bill without solar, 5,000, you save 500 ringgit without any additional, without any capex to you. Okay, so that means this is just a simple case, because 10,000 kilowatt is just a simple setup. Imagine if you're a factory, that's where you can save a lot more. And again, I couldn't stress this enough. It is at zero cost to you. And not only zero cost, you don't have to worry about who would be in charge of the system if there is any breakdown, because everything is taken care of by G-Spark. Okay, I have 5 more minutes, but I'm actually ending my presentation. Okay, so can we just go to the few slides after? All right, so for this, as I said, that you need to sign a contract. Okay, this is where it will be covered by Puan Sharifah after this, and Puan Sharifah will be explaining about this SARI contract. So we'll just skip. Puan Sharifah will have a full explanation for it. Okay, next. All right, so this is also maybe covered by Puan Sharifah, but basically when you go solar under zero capex to us, this is where you don't have to worry about paying your bill. It's just one single bill that you have to pay to the same TNB, yeah, and TNB would actually pay your solar, the solar portion to G-Spark. But to give you some transparency, the bill will be an itemized bill, and you can see clearly how much your solar is generated and how much it is charged for you through that green bill. Okay, next. Okay. Again, I mentioned there will be a solar online monitoring. So this is given to you. You can view it through your mobile or laptop, and the same is monitored at our site because we have our asset management. You need to monitor the performance of your solar PV system. So this is done diligently for that 20 years of contract that you sign up with us. Next. All right, next. All right. Okay, just another option. Just now, we also mentioned that you can also purchase solar at zero capex. At outright purchase. So this is where if you choose to go with outright purchase, you could actually claim under MIDA tax incentive, and that would shorten your payback period, which from normally 6 years to 3 years only. So this is also a good option for you to consider if you prefer to go with the outright purchase. Next. All right, can we just skip next? Right. So I'm ending my presentation with some portfolio of the project that we have completed. So this is showing you for the houses. So out of that 800, actually 600 comes from houses. Okay, of course, because they are small, but there are many. So we did for the whole peninsula, regardless of the rooftop size, roof type, and where you are. And yeah, we did for everything. So next slide. All right. Okay. This is showing you for the government building. So we did for, stadia, we did for offices, we did for universities. And if you see that Agency Nuclear Malaysia, we did for Agency Nuclear, and it's the total, the whole thing is car park, solar car park. So you get solar, you get car park, you get to save on your electricity bill, and you get your, you get the shelter for your car. So this is at zero cost to you. So isn't this amazing? Something that you would like to consider? Right, next. And of course, for commercial and industrial, okay, if you see here, there's a whole lot of factories that we have already done. So you are potentially one of those people who could actually be installed with solar at zero cost by G-Spark. Right, next. Okay, just to highlight, one of the biggest installation that we did on a single site is 2 megawatt on a single rooftop. And we have an ongoing project, about 8 megawatt in a single area, about multiple buildings. Next. All right, next. Okay, that is all from me. Thank you very much for your attention, for giving me an opportunity to present this, and I welcome any question during the Q&A session. So thank you so much for me. Yeah, that's all, and over to the MC.
Thank you so much, IR Nur Ziha, for that wonderful presentation. As you can probably see, solar is definitely the way to go. As mentioned just now, we have a 4th session, which is on green energy. SARE, yes, Save the World with SARE, which stands for Supply Agreement Renewable Energy. Our presenter for this session, she has 16 years of experience in the utilities industries. She's currently leading the billing and contracting for TNBX. So ladies and gentlemen, let's see some W's in the chat box. Let's give a huge round of applause for Puan Sharifah Salwa binti Said Othman.
Okay. Thank you, Gajanat. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everyone. Okay, I know this is the 4th presentation of the day for you, but I really hope that all of you are still awake, fresh, and excited to learn more about SARE. I'm Sharifah from TNBX, and I will explain further on how our billing and contracting through SARE can assist in making your solar journey a pleasant one. So for those of you who are interested to have solar for your business, I'm sure that apart from wanting a solar system that works perfectly for you, that generates the saving that you require or desire, you would also want the other aspects with regard to your solar to run smoothly, especially on the billing. So I will share on that, but firstly, let me introduce about TNBX. So TNBX is a wholly owned subsidiary of TNB, established in 2007. 17, and we have been offering smart and innovative solutions in renewable energy and energy efficiency for homes and businesses in Peninsular Malaysia. Structure-wise, this is how we're connected to TNB. Just like G-Spark, okay, we are parked under the retail division, having back-to-back support from our parent company in terms of system, manpower, and many more. So as explained by Encik Razif, okay, earlier, there are actually many beyond kilowatt hour solutions being provided by TNB Retail. And at TNBX, we do have our own set of solutions offered to the energy market in Malaysia in support of the green agenda. So firstly, we have supply agreement for renewable energy, or famously known as SARE. Okay, I will explain further on this after this. Okay, next we have renewable energy certificates, or REC, which my colleague, Mr. Mike, will present on later. Okay, and we also have power factor such as solution, smart city and smart dream home, and many more. So our team is headed by Mr. Nirinda, the Managing Director of TNBX, and assisted by our CFO and the solution leads. So we are actually a small team, only 14 of us, and mostly made up of young team members. Okay, nevertheless, we are very energetic, dynamic, and passionate in what we do. So now let's focus more on the billing and contracting solutions offered by TNBX. So we take pride in providing hassle-free billing and contracting in your renewable journey towards a greener world. Or in other words, we believe that no matter who or where you are in this renewable journey, whether you are the customer wanting to have solar at your rooftop, or whether you are the RPVI or solar company offering solar solutions to your customer, or whether you're doing billing and contracting, each and every one of us actually plays a significant role, in building a greener world for all of us to live in. So at TNBX, we are proud to provide efficient and effective billing and contracting services to assist you in achieving your renewable aspirations. Okay, and this is the team, that will assist you in achieving that. So beside myself, we have Ms. Balkis, Mr. Daniel, and Mr. Ibrahim, who are always ready at your service. Okay, so how does our billing and contracting works? So it's very simple actually. We are leveraging on TNB's billing system to provide single convergence TNB bill for your solar, and this is enabled through a contract called SARE. Okay, so as can be seen here, when you have two sources of energy to your building, let's say one is from TNB grid and the other source is from your solar. So we can actually capture the information from these two sources, to be fed into the billing system, TNB's billing system, to eventually provide a single convergence bill at the end of the month for you. Okay, so this is made possible through a SARE contract that will be entered into between TNB, you as the consumer, and the RPVI or the solar company. Okay, without this arrangement, as a customer, you will receive two separate bills every month. One is from TNB for the energy taken from the grid, and another bill will be, coming from your solar company or RPVI for the energy produced or generated by the solar system. Hence, our billing and contracting solutions provide an efficient and, hassle-free management of solar for your business. So how is this being done at site? Again, it's very simple, We will have 2 meters, installed at your buildings, to capture and feed the information to our billing system. So meter 1 here is your normal TNB meter, that will capture the energy taken or imported from the grid. If you're a NEM solar customer, we will change this meter to NEM meter, which is bidirectional, so that it can also capture the excess of energy exported to the grid. Okay, next we have meter 2 installed just right after your solar PV system, and this meter will capture the amount of energy generated by your solar. So at the end of the month, we will combine the information from meter 1 and meter 2 and provide a single convergence TNB bill for you. Okay, now, okay, let's go into detail of SARI. Okay, SARI is a tripartite agreement between TNB, okay, asset owner, okay, you can call them as RPVI or solar company. Okay, they are all actually the same, referring to the same party, and you as the consumer. So it enables, enable single billing, single convergence bill for consumers having solar system at their premise. SARI is currently eligible for commercial, industrial and government sectors in Peninsular Malaysia. So SARI protects the interests and rights of all the parties involved, because basically SARI is a combination of PPA, power purchase agreement, and also billing and contracting. Okay, so it has all the information with regards to your solar PV system, billing, the obligation and responsibilities of all the parties involved. As a customer, you have the opportunity to negotiate with your RPVI on the clauses in SARI with regards to the solar PV system. As for us at TNB, we are the billing and collection service provider in this agreement, and we are actually governed by the Electricity Supply Act. So this is your end-to-end solar journey, SARI journey. As you can see here, there are actually 8 stages, okay, in this SARI journey, okay, but not to worry, because we will assist you, okay. We will assist you from end to end throughout this journey. So the journey actually starts with draft SARI, where your RPVI will contact us, okay, will contact TNBX and request for draft SARI by submitting a form that contains all the information with regards to your site, the details of the customer, and also the RPVI. So we will produce the draft SARI and then share the draft SARI to the RPVI. Next, the RPVI will share the draft SARI with you, and this is the time, okay, the stage where you have the opportunity to negotiate, okay, with your RPVI with regards to the obligation, responsibilities, and process of a solar PV system. Then, okay, we will go into the SARI finalization stage, where TNBX will clean up and prepare the document for signing. Once it is done, we will initiate the signing process. So signing will be done in sequence, okay? The customer will sign the SARI document first, okay, followed by the RPVI, and lastly by TNBX. And due to MCO, okay, since last year, we have actually introduced e-signing for our SARI document, and we are utilizing Adobe platform for this, okay. And so it is actually very simple, easy and quick to get all the SARI document signed by the involved parties. Okay, once the document has been signed, okay, we will then submit, okay, the SARI document to LHDN for stamping. Okay, same as the signing process, okay, due to MCO, this has actually been enabled through e-stamping. So we will submit the request to LHDN online. Okay, so the process is now actually very easy, simple, and quick to be completed. Okay, next stage is the time, okay, for the RPVI to complete the solar site at work. Okay, and once it is ready to go live, we will install the solar, the meter, okay, the meter, okay, be it the NEM meter or also the solar meter at site, and finally the billing and collection will start. So as of now, we are actually managing 271 projects, okay, using SARI, and this is equivalent to 97 megawatt peak in capacity, and all these okay, are coming from 28 RPVIs all over Peninsular Malaysia. So in terms of billing, this is how your bill will look like once you use SARI. Okay, it will be a 3-page bill for you as customer. Okay, the first page is the summary page of your total TNB bill. Okay, on the second page, okay, is the information regarding your utility energy, and the last page is on your solar bill. So same as your current TNB bill, you can actually make payment through the existing channel like My TNB, Kedai Tenaga, kan, online banking, and many more. So it will be easy for you. At TNBX, okay, we are dynamic, we listen to the market needs, and we strive to improve on our offering. So these are the variations of SARI currently being offered in the market. Okay, we have the normal SARI for solar single billing. Okay, we also have SARI for E2OU customers and also SARI reward by RPVI. And in the pipeline, okay, we will introduce next on SARI 2.0, BCA, SARI list, and BCA list. Once these offering or solutions are ready, of course, we will make the announcement and share the information with the RPVIs so that they can offer this to the customers as well. So in summary, okay, let us take care of your billing and collection. Okay, these, rest assured, okay, you will enjoy these benefits. Okay, one, you use our SARI. The first one, enjoy fixed tariff rate for your solar. As mentioned by Puan Ziha just now, predetermined solar tariff throughout contract period will guarantee savings on your electricity bill. And secondly, yes, great billing experience because okay, you will enjoy simple billing experience through our single convergence bill. And third, okay, protection on your interest and right. As I mentioned just now, SARI is a tripartite contract between yourself, okay, the RPVI and TNB, and we actually protect all the parties involved in the contract. And enjoy TNB's efficient and effective services, okay, through online, face-to-face, okay, all throughout Peninsula Malaysia. That is on the call center support, and all this will increase the efficiency of you as a customer and all the parties involved. Okay, so these are all the news about SARI in our newspaper. So it is evidence that SARI has helped, okay, businesses, government sectors, school and universities to enjoy solar and enjoy bill reduction through zero capex. So wait no more, okay, use our SARI and join our satisfied customers in building a greener world. Okay, so if you like to know more about our SARI solution, okay, you can visit our website here, www.tnbx.com.my, or you can also go to our social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel, LinkedIn. Okay, so that's all from me for today. So thank you, and over to you, Gajanat.
Thank you so much, Puan Sharifah, for that wonderful session. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have done solar, we have done SARI, and now we're going to move on to the Q&A session. I've been looking at the chat box right here, and yes, lots of questions on solar and also SARI. So now I'd like to introduce back on stage again, Puan Sharifah and also IR Nur Ziha. So let me just have a look at the questions. As mentioned just now, we won't be able to go through all the questions, but don't worry, they will be answered, all right, offline. Okay, so I'll start off for solar. So this is from first question. Let me see. Okay, this is from Muhammad Fazli. Right, what is the differentiator for TNB as compared to other independent solar providers?
Okay, that's a question, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, of course, I would say that because when you have this solar system, it's not that you have it like today and 3 years down the road, you would change it. Yes, there's a advance in technology that maybe there are better panels available, but this is a huge capex for you. So that is where when you go solar, you are looking at long-term partnership with a reputable investor. So this is where we believe G-Spark, as part of TNB, bring you that kind of certainty, reliability to actually serve you for that 20-year period. Even though if you go with outright purchase, you might want to go with a reputable company that is actually there to actually look out for your system for that 20 years period or more. So that is like the strongest point why I say that you should go with G-Spark and TNB.
Thank you so much. And second question also on solar. This is from Abdul Rahman Dawi. What is the minimum size for rooftop for the solar panel?
Okay, actually, it depends. The answer, it depends. If you're going for outright purchase, yeah, so outright purchase, I mean, you come up with your own cash, it doesn't matter. You can go with as low as 1 kilowatt. It doesn't matter. Even if you want to put one panel, it's okay. It's just that inverter normally starts with a 1 or 2 kilowatt system. So you can go with as minimum as possible because there is no floor or a size that you could actually install. But if you're going with zero capex, where G-Spark would put up the investment for you, definitely G-Spark is looking at volume. We have a minimum size that we are able to offer zero capex. For example, we're looking at perhaps 100 kilowatt peak. So 100 kilowatt peak correspond to about 200 meters square of a rooftop. Okay, so yeah, there is a minimum size if you're looking at zero capex solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. This is from IR Faisal. So, any minimum energy consumption in order to be part of in order to take up solar panels?
Again, okay, any minimum energy consumption.
Yep.
Okay, again, in this solar installation, there is no minimum. There is only maximum installation. And again, to answer, if you're looking at zero capex, the answer is the same as previously, which we are looking at maybe minimum 100 kilowatt. Okay, and also there are other criteria, but there is no minimum energy consumption that is actually set up for solar. But if you're looking for outright, again, as low as 1 kilowatt is also fine.
Okay, thanks. Next one. Okay, next one's on SARE. So let's see. Okay, this is from Inche Suhaimi. Are the terms and conditions in SARE standard, can they be amended? This is important because we have our legal team to review.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Cik Suhaimi. Okay, yes, okay. Firstly, we have the general template for SARE. Okay, okay. But as I mentioned just now, okay, we have the negotiation stage, okay, where the customer has the opportunity to negotiate the term, especially on the solar PV system with your RPVI. Okay, and as I mentioned just now also, TNB is the collection, okay, billing and collection service provider in this agreement, and we are actually governed by the Electricity Supply Act. However, okay, in terms of solar PV system itself, yes, you have the opportunity, you have the room to negotiate on the clauses, on the terms, okay, responsibilities and obligations, okay, with your RPVI.
Thank you very much. And our next question is from Benjamin Lim. SARE fixed tariff can last for how long? And how long will the contract last?
Okay, right now, okay, the maximum contract period for SARE is 21 years as per the license given by SD to the solar company. Okay, owning, maintaining, and taking care of the solar system. However, okay, the contract period actually will depend on the offer, okay, given by your solar company or RPVI. Okay, they will run their own FM, okay, and see the best possible offer that they can give to you, okay, as a customer, and that will also include on the solar tariff and also the contract period.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next one's on solar. So this is for IR Ziha. So this is from Abdul Rahman, Inche Abdul Rahman. So is there a maintenance cost after the installation? And give me an overview on the maintenance.
Okay, again, if we are looking at, hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a bit noisy. If we are looking at zero capex, this is where you don't have to worry. We take care of everything. There would be maintenance that will be done annually, once a year. So this is all the costs are parked under GSPARK. But if you're buying it as outright, then the recommended scheduled maintenance or preventive maintenance is once a year. Okay, but that also doesn't include the fact that maybe there's a broken parts or any external factor that actually hit the panel and break it. So it doesn't include that. So if you're looking at the cost, okay, since we are talking to commercial industrial here, normally the cost quoted is in terms of price per kilowatt. Yeah. So let's say it's commercial industrial. Normally the maintenance cost is between 30 to 40 ringgit per kilowatt. And let's say you're installing 100 kilowatt. So you're looking at maybe 3,000 ringgit per year of the preventive maintenance annually. Okay, that doesn't include any other in between if there is any problem that needs to be fixed. But if you go with zero capex, this is the beauty of it. You don't have to worry about all those. We take care of everything.
Okay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another 2 to 3 minutes. So I think I'll move on to our last question. This is on solar as well. Okay, this question is from IR Prabhakaran. So can we claim for Gita and CA with MIDA once use GSPARK's zero capex solution or building self-consumption, bracket Celco?
Okay, that GIT. Okay, first we need to understand when is it that you are eligible to claim under GITA, MIDA tax incentive? GITA stands for Green Investment Tax Allowance. So you are only qualified if you are spending your expenses and you can prove it on renewable energy or renewable solutions, so such as solar. So if you are going with zero capex, the money doesn't come from you, it comes from GSPAR. So under this situation, you are not qualified to claim under MIDA tax incentive. Only when you are spending, means you go with outright purchase, then you can claim, you can submit application, because it is still an application to be approved by MIDA, that you can submit submit application to apply for MIDA tax incentive. To the next question, you also mentioned about Celco. It's regardless whether you install it as Celco or NEM, as long as you buy it as outright purchase, you are eligible to apply for MIDA tax incentive.
All right, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our Q&A session. Once again, thank you, IR Nurziha and also Puan Sharifah for this session.
Thank you.
As I mentioned just now, all of your questions will be answered. Don't worry, I'm looking at the list here. There's actually quite a number. So don't worry, TNB will get back to you all right? Okay, so next one, we are moving to our next session, which is virtual comedy, which is, literally my session. I'll be performing virtual comedy. Now, I'd like to know from the crowd, from the audience, right? Type yes in the chat box if you have been to a physical stand-up comedy show. Type yes in the chat box if you have attended a stand-up comedy show. Siapa yang pernah hadiri stand-up comedy show? Doesn't matter wherever it is, just type yes, so that I can more or less understand the crowd. Okay, it's like 60% no, 40% yes. Okay, more yeses coming, now more like 50-50. Oh, quite a lot of no's. Okay, yes, I see some yes, some no, yes, no. Okay, so it's about 50-50. Okay, anyway, but I'm very sure, even if you haven't attended, I'm very sure you have watched a YouTube video, right? So stand-up comedy show, very simple. A lot of people gather in one room or a theater. They listen to someone who's obviously the stand-up comedian, go up on stage, hold the mic, and the comedian will tell jokes. That's it. No acting, no nothing. That's stand-up comedy. So now you may be wondering, hey, now it's virtual. How are we going to do this? Well, very simple. Through the chat box. Okay, so through the chat box. So very simple. If you want to clap W's, you already know that. If you want to laugh, you type in haha and lols. So let's exercise our fingers once again. Can I see some haha and lols in the chat box? Go, go, go. Let's see our haha and lols. I know this are all very serious. And okay, nice. Okay, now you have exercised your fingers. You are now interactive. I think we are there. Okay, enough of ahas and lols. Okay, can the rest be muted? I'm hearing some background noise. Yeah. Okay, haha and lols. Okay, brilliant. So let me start my session. Okay, I still hear some background noise or whoever it is. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me start my session. My name is Gajanat. As you all probably already know, I started stand-up comedy back in 2012. So I was a final year mechanical engineering student. Back then, I was doing stand-up comedy part-time. Graduated as an engineer, never worked as an engineer. I worked as an IT consultant in Accenture. So worked with various projects, TM, and then after that was Shell, and then after that was Petronas. I wasn't really a hardcore IT guy, I did a bit of Oracle, did a bit of SAP, but very surface, more in project management. So I was doing stand-up comedy part-time. So I was engineering, then IT. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't realized, most Malaysian parents got 4 check boxes for their children, 4. All right, you either become a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, or you go into IT, right? So I had 2 out of 4. You understand? So you imagine how excited my mother was at family gatherings. Because let's all be honest, Chinese New Year, Hari Raya, Deepavali, some parents, they will start comparing children's education. What is your son studying? Huh? Mass communication. You stay away from my son. My son got engineering and IT. Don't contaminate him. 2 meters away, please. Some Malaysian parents already practicing social distancing at family gatherings before even the pandemic. If you're a parent, I hope you don't do that. Like bandingkan pelajaran. Don't go and compare people's education. Like you look bad on the other person. But anyway, yeah, I had engineering and IT. And after 6 years of doing stand-up comedy as a hobby, as part-time, in 2018, I decided to leave my job as an IT consultant to become a full-time stand-up comedian. Usually that gets a big clap, but it's okay. You all missed the boat. Don't have to pretend now. Because if you clap immediately, that is out of passion. You understand? If you clap 3 seconds later, that is out of sympathy. So same output, but different logic. So it's a bit of a data joke here. So don't fake it now. I know, okay, I know what's going on. But anyway, people ask me this question. Let's all be honest, right? We are all Malaysians. Most of us are Malaysians here, right? People ask me this question. Hey, were your parents supportive? It's a big question, right? Because Malaysian parents, if you were to do anything non 9 to 5, they will have lots of questions when you start your own business. You all are business owners here, right? You know how it goes. So people ask me, Gajan, were your parents supportive? Interestingly, the answer was yes. Is and was yes. Yeah, my mother was very supportive. I still remember after one of my stand-up comedy shows, I had a mother and son talk. I said, Ma, I am not sure if you're attending my comedy shows because you want to support me as your son or because you have other reasons. But for my next show, I want you to only attend if you really think I'm funny. Since then, she's never attended. Mother burning son moment. Why not? Kalau nak bakar, bakar lah. Hey, I can do this all day, man. I've got tons of tolerance. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's keep the roasting going. And that's how my family is. My family is very transparent, very direct. We don't talk behind each other's back. Like all this sugar coating, this bahasa bunga. And we don't do that. All direct. There's no maksud tersirat. It's all tersurat. It's all very direct. So few years ago, I bought my first property. And I took a selfie of myself in the living room, and I posted that picture in my family WhatsApp group. Because that's what we do at family WhatsApp groups, right? Known for 3 things, family WhatsApp groups. Number 1, motivational quotes. Number 2, for gossips, right? Especially parents, they'll gossip and they will send all this non-authentic data. Right? Like before election, my mother will send a picture. Oh, there's a tank in Putrajaya, Gajan. Go and buy tuna and sardine can. What are you all doing with your tuna and sardine can? Sekarang semua cirit lah. I'm like, Ma, that picture was taken during celebration, Merdeka celebration. Check your data. Don't simply forward. There's no authenticity, right? There's no validation in it. Anyway, yeah. So first reason, motivational quotes. Second one, gossip. Third one, to post achievements. Right? That's what we do. Buy a new car, buy a new house. I got promotion. All right. So I got a new kid. All the achievements you want to post there. So I posted a picture of myself in the living room, first property. My mother, she took that picture, posted it on her personal Instagram account with a black and white filter. And the captions were, my son is in a better place. Finally, I can look up to him. Hashtag Monday motivation. 2 days later, my mother sent me a message. Gajan, a lot of my friends think you're dead. Me being a loving and caring son, I didn't reply. After that, she replied on top of her own message, Gajan, how I wish was true. Lol. Let's go. Kalau nak bakar saja, I can do this. Let's go. That's how my family rolls. My father, he's also a very cheeky guy. Father, very funny guy. My parents are living in Penang. They are both living in Penang. So believe it or not, my father wears the mask at home. You see, a lot of you all are not wearing your mask because you're at home. You're in a safe environment. My father wears the mask at home. And I'm like, Pa, why? And he was like, Gajan, is not because of COVID. It's because I want to avoid talking to your mother. So ladies and gentlemen, if you dislike your spouse, your husband or your wife, you can use my father's trick. This solution has been proven to be very effective because a couple of months ago, when we were able to do interstate traveling, I went back to Penang while talking to my mother in the house. She was also wearing the mask. Hey, happy family, sangat bahagia. Yeah, but comparing my mother and father, I think my mother is a quick thinker. She thinks way quicker because she plays the bad cop. Now, bad cop means, in charge of discipline, in charge of kesopanan, making sure, you're a budak baik, so always there to discipline you. Good cop is always the chill, bertabar, relax, bernafas, chill, chill guy. So because of that, my mother thinks very quick. And I realized this when a couple of months ago, my father posted a motivational picture as usual, right? Parents like every single day have to post motivational picture, just forward. One day without a motivational picture, the whole world gonna just blow up, apparently. Anyway, my father posted a motivational picture of a lion, singa, right? On that picture, atas gambar itu, okay, ditulis, the caption was, a lion doesn't turn its back when a dog barks. Very strong quote. My mother replied, are you calling me a dog? My father immediately created another family WhatsApp group without my mother. Children, what do we do now? I'm stuck. My father has made this into a family problem. Hello, this is your communication issue with mother. So why not you deal with her. Don't make this into a family problem. Anyway, my father has included us into the issue. My siblings and I reacted the exact same way. Wow, Pa, we didn't know, to create a WhatsApp group. Very rare skill for a 70-year-old. Meanwhile, in the original group, my mother was like, what are y'all discussing in the other group? You see, mother's very smart, I tell you. They got damn lot of sensors. We talk about data management, but I tell you, none of the solutions out there can beat, the data management of a mother. You could be in a jungle with no internet signal. Suddenly you receive a call. Boy, why are you not productive today? Say, Ma, how you know? Saya kat hutan ni sekarang. Amazing. They know what you're doing. But yeah, I understand it's now 11:36. Right, I'm just going to move on with another 2-3 jokes and then we'll resume with the event, right? Last one is, a lot of people ask me this question. Hey, Gajan, you left IT consulting for stand-up comedy. That's a big difference, isn't it? And I'm here to tell you, and you know what? They are very similar. I'm here to prove it to you. IT consulting and stand-up comedy, very similar. Number one, right? Both are services, right? Number two, you got to be good at presentation skills. You need to be comfortable presenting. Number three, you cannot have stage fright. If you want to be in either one of these industries, you got to be comfortable with the crowd. Number four, in both IT consulting and stand-up comedy, you need to know the limits. You need to know the limits. In comedy, you see, like if you notice, I haven't swear because I don't swear. I don't do any like sex jokes or whatsoever. But it's right there at the fence. It's the same as IT consulting, right? You will, for example, you look at all the numbers. Those are like sometimes you look at the term up to, right? Up to this amount. So it's the same like a car brochure. You can save this amount of fuel up to this amount. The only difference between IT consulting and comedy is in IT consulting, when your project does not go well, then it's comedy. In comedy, if it doesn't go well, then it's consultation. That's what it is. Stand-up comedy without punchline is just consultation. I'm looking at the chat box here. I see a lot of haha and lols. I thank you for that. I wish I could. I wish I could thank you all, physically, but pandemic. But yeah, imagine if there's no, you all don't get the punchline. People ask you, how was Gajan's comedy? And you'll be like, he gave good life advice. He was a very good consultant. So yeah, that's the difference. All right, my final joke. Okay, final joke. And then we're going to move on to our final session. Okay, final joke. Because I've been doing stand-up comedy for close to 10 years now, emceeing. So a bit of communication tip, right? If you're going to send a message externally to any vendors, any clients, potential collaborators, prospects, my advice is reread the message. Or sometimes if it's very important, get a second opinion. Suruh orang lain check dulu. And the reason why is because, kadang-kadang ada kesalahan tata bahasa, like one grammatical error and the whole message changes. Like recently, I received a message from an event agent, and I kid you not, the message goes like this. Very important communication skills. This is a communication skills joke. The message went like this. Hi Gajan, do you do comedians? How much do you charge for a 20 minutes performance? You see how wrong this message is. And the message doesn't stop there, no. My client wants you to perform for 30 minutes. Are you able to last that long? Check your message before I send out. And the final ending of the message, kindly send me a video, bracket preferably in HD. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of my set. Please check your messages. Communication tips 101. Always check your message, your emails, right? Your slides or whatever, just before you send out to someone external. Very important. It may bring a different message. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at the chat box. I thank you so much for all those who laughed and all that. You know, like I said, if this is a virtual, if this was a physical stand-up comedy show, you know, after the show, I will handshake with the audience, you know, terima kasih. But this is virtual. So I thank all of y'all who are typing in the chat box. You know, I'm glad y'all are enjoying. Okay, so now they have done the comedy performance. Thank you for that. We're going to move on to our final session, the last hurrah, and this is on Malaysian Renewable Energy Certificate, MREC. Now, this session is a bit different. We are going to do the Q&A session during this session itself, which means while Mr. Michael is presenting, he will stop by between segments, and then we will just take up some questions. So if you have any questions on my Renewable Energy Certificate, type in the chat box, right? Just type in the chat box and we will answer you. So ladies and gentlemen, our presenter for this session, as I mentioned, he's got 11 years of experience in TNB. He is currently the leader of digital marketplace in TNBX. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Inche Michael Yong.
Thank you, Lord. Thanks, Gajan, for the good introduction. Hi all, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning. This is Michael here from TNBX. Right, I'll be sharing on the Malaysian Renewable Energy Certificate. But before we proceed with the sharing, I have a 90-second of video. Right, probably we all can go through the video before we go towards the details of today's presentation on Malaysian Renewable Energy Certificate. Be right back.
Does your company have a sustainability goal aspiring to be greener, but you are finding it hard to switch to green energy? We can make it easy for you. To prove it, we will explain to you in less than 90 seconds. Electricity is generated from power plants and flows through the electrical grid to power up your buildings. Most of the electricity generated comes from non-renewable sources such as coal and natural gas. Let's call it brown energy. There is also electricity generated from renewable sources such as solar and hydro, and we call it green energy. Green and brown energy will be fed into the same power pool, making it impossible to differentiate between green and brown. This is where Renewable Energy Certificate, or REC, comes in. REC is a market-based instrument that represents the rights to the renewable energy generation. For every 1 megawatt-hour of energy that flows through the power pool, 1 REC is created and tracked on Malaysia Green Attribute Tracking System, MGATS. You just have to own the REC to claim that you are green-powered. This helps you to reach your sustainability goals while helping the RE developers to construct more renewable energy plants. And that makes your future more sustainable. For more info, visit our website or email us now.
Thank you. So that's the short 90 seconds video on Malaysian Renewable Energy Certificate. Now I'll go deep dive into what REC is all about. It's something new, hence we'll do this session a bit different, right? Whereby I'll be presenting on REC by segments, and I'll open up for 2 questions for every segment, and after that we'll go for the Q&A, right, with Mr. Gajan. So going into the Malaysian Renewable Energy Certificate, or what we call as the REC, what's more important is that for customers from the commercial and also the large industrial customers of TNB to look at it from the sustainability perspective, right? So when we talk about sustainability, what's more common is that we talk about the greenhouse gases emission into the environment, right? Most commonly known as a lot of types of gases, but more focusing on the CO2 emission. So under the greenhouse gas protocol, there are 2 main scopes, right, that the customer can focus on to reduce their carbon footprint, right? One is scope 1, which is where the greenhouse gas emission, it's coming from sources, right, that's owned by the organization. So if you are an industrial company, right, I'm quite sure some of you would have taken a supply from Gas Malaysia and feed it into a steam boiler, right? So there is an emission factor coming from scope 1 from that source. Apart from that, if your company or organization owns vehicle or logistics, you would have a certain amount of emission that's be calculated in scope 1. Scope 2 focuses on the supply of electricity, heat or steam, right? But in our case, it's more focused towards electricity, right? As the industry uses electricity to generate or to move the machines, right, for the operation, and that's where it falls under the scope 2. So emissions from electricity are not controlled by a company or organization, hence that falls under scope 2. And scope 3 are other emissions, right? That's along your value chain, but you have no control over. So for instance, if you manufacture, right, a product and you were to export it out of Malaysia, and that is where that you will use the third-party services, right, to ship or to deliver the products to other countries out of Malaysia, and that's where you use third-party services. And scope emission factor or the emissions under this value chain, which is not owned by you, falls under scope 3. So in addressing the energy side, right, what organization these days are looking into, it's towards achieving carbon neutrality, meaning to say that to zeroize their emission, right? And as my colleague Faiz from maybe spoke about energy efficiency with J. Razif, right? There are several ways you can actually maximize, right, your reduction through implementing energy management, right, by monitoring or direct reduction of the energy consumption, right? That's one way of doing it. Two is that there are solutions from Puan Ziha, from GSPA, who mentioned about renewable energy. Putting up on-site solar solution will also assist you to reduce your carbon footprint by the energy coming from a green source, and hence you get a green electricity. Now, what happens is you have exhausted option 1, which is applying energy efficiency initiatives, and also you have also exhausted on option 2, which is putting up solar panel solution by maximizing your rooftop space that you have. And this is where we have the Malaysian REC, right? So going into the Malaysian REC, how the mechanism works, right? If we look at the generation mix in Malaysia in 2020, almost 80% of the energy mix, it's coming from the traditional energy generator, which is the coal and natural gas, right? These are the brown source. Then close to 20% of the energy mix comes from a renewable energy source, which is the largely contributed by hydro, right? Almost 15%. Then you have solar, biomass, and biogas. And both of these energy, brown and green, goes into the grid and along the transmission cables and distribution cables and up to the customer's premise, which means, ladies and gentlemen, your premise or even your houses, the energy is being recorded, right? How much you consume. And there's no way that we can differentiate whether the energy comes from a brown source or a green source, right? So it's a mix of energy. We can't see electron. And hence, what happens is for the past decade, there has been a rising interest, right, by companies, right, such as the RE100, right, the group of companies or organization who pledge themselves to source 100% renewable electricity, meaning to say they now have to look at ways how they can acquire electricity 100% coming from renewable source. And with this interest and a rising interest in sustainability or to meet their ESG goals, hence companies or organization wants green electricity now, right? Rather than normal electricity, they want a green electricity. So this is where REC can assist, right? Companies and organization, or ladies and gentlemen, to meet your scope 2 emission target through REC. How does this REC works, right? Every 1 megawatt hour, which is equivalent to 1,000 kilowatt hour of energy that goes into the goes into the grid, we have the meter, and the meter will record the generation, right? So every 1 megawatt hour, 1 REC can be produced, or 1 certificate can be produced. This certificate will bear all the green attributes as associated with the generation. And when the end customers purchase this certificate, they can now declare that the energy that goes into a building comes directly from a renewable source. Okay, so meaning to say, example, if a XYZ manufacturing company takes in 10,000 megawatt hour of energy per year or electricity per year, right? That is what you are taking from TNB example. And if you were to purchase 10,000 rack, and that is where you can claim that you are now 100%, you are now RE100, or you are now sourcing 100% green electricity. So that's how the certificate works. And if you look at it, the certificate that we are using, it's certified by the IRAC, the International REC Standard, and accepted internationally. It's also accepted internationally by the RE100, which if you look at the website, it's stated that they have accepted 2 types of registry internationally, which is the IRAC and Tigris. Presently, we use the IRAC. Okay, up until this point, probably I'll just take on 2 questions. If anyone of you have posted a question, Mr. Gajan, let's go for the first question.
Actually, at this moment, we don't have any yet. So I guess you can proceed.
Okay, I shall proceed with the presentation. I'll go for next session. Thank you, Mr. Gajan. So that's overall in general how the REC works. Again, the REC is here to help any company or organization, right, to achieve their sustainability goal if they have maximized their energy efficiency, which can actually give them more energy reduction, right, and also the renewable energy source. Now, moving on next, there are also questions by company or organization ask, then what's the difference between solar energy and also REC? Now, solar energy is where you put an on-site generation, you get a direct green electricity. On top of that, because of the cost, right, of the solar energy, it's much more affordable, whether you were to buy it, right, upfront, or you go for the no upfront cost, the zero capex model, right? The levelized cost of the electricity coming from solar is actually cheaper than the electricity that you take from the grid. Hence, that's why as huge motivation from the commercial perspective, customers go and put up more solar panel and solar solution. You get green energy and you get savings on electricity bill. On the other hand, if you have limitation in terms of rooftop size, you're not able to go for solar energy, right? Putting up solar panel, maximizing your rooftop, and this is where you can go for the REC. Now, REC model, it's a bit different. You don't get savings on your electricity bill. It's a cost plus model, whereby you pay extra on top of the current electricity bill that you're paying to TNB, right? Meaning to say, you still pay your existing bill, but for you to claim green and for you to purchase the REC, then that is where presently this year, only for this year, we have a cost of about 1 cent per kilowatt hour, up to 1 cent per kilowatt hour on top of electricity rate, right? So that's the cost of the REC. So that's in general the differences between solar and REC, but both will actually assist you to achieve your RE100 or electricity coming from a green source, whether it's directly or indirectly. Now, we are using the REC that we are providing. It's with the International REC Standard. So under the IRAC standard, they will clearly specify that the REC that you get, it's coming directly from a solar source or a hydro source or biomass, biogas or other RE sources, right? Just that in Malaysia, we do not have wind and tidal RE source yet, okay, for now. So in terms of the REC, presently, we have started off the whole REC mechanism officially in May 2020, right? So we're just about 1 year old plus. And in terms of solar, we have only roughly about 300,000 left per annum. And the hydro, we still have quite a number of hydro racks available. The solar racks are coming from the large-scale solar, right? So if you all know, the large-scale solar 1 and 2. So when in the future, when the solar large-scale solar 3 and 4 gets commissioned, then that is where we open up more for customers or organization or companies to purchase direct. So what do you see in detail from the certificate? You also be able to see directly your energy, right? The amount of racks or amount of megawatt hour that you purchase comes directly from which solar plant, from when to when. It's very specific, and that's where it's auditable. It's able to be used for your audits as well if you have a sustainability audit. Apart from that, just to share, right, our central bank, Bank Negara Malaysia, has also come out with the climate change and principle-based taxonomy, right? This is issued in 30th April 2021. If you do a Google search, you can actually find this the whole entire document. And they have also started, right, to put focus on environmental sustainability solutions or initiatives. And that is where they come out with this guideline and in hopes of trying to push more financial institutions to adopt sustainable sources of green energy or sustainable practices. So this can be done by putting up solar panel. You can do energy efficiency to reduce the energy taken from the grid. And also, apart from that, you can also purchase the rack. So the rack is actually in line with the greenhouse gas protocol, corporate accounting, and the reporting standard. Right, so up until here, if I can open up for 2 questions, Mr. Gajan.
Yes, we do have 2 questions. So the first one is from Lim MG. So what's the
Hi.
fee to pay to obtain the regularly data and updated MREC cert?
Right, so I'll go for the certificate first, right? Now, how do we actually provide the cert is that we will take your actual energy consumption. We can do it by quarterly or half yearly or even annually. And that is where the cost will be roughly close to about 1 cent per kilowatt hour, right? On top of your current electricity bill, right? So that is in terms of cost. Data required, all we need is just your electricity bill, your consumption. Because how REC works is that you'll be still taking supply from the grid due to the limitation of the E and also the RE source, right? Meaning to say that putting on-site solar solution will not be able to give you 100%, right? You have limitation of roof space, you have limitation or even the amount of effective solar generation, because average per year in Malaysia per day is only 3.5 hours of sunlight that you can get. So your company in operation or your plant could run 12 hours, 18 hours, or even some running 24 hours. You're taking E2 tariff or C2 tariffs, right? So if you're running 24 hours, but the availability effective sun hours only 3.5 hours per day. Hence, you still take supply from TNB. And RECs, to purchase RECs, we are just matching the amount of energy you take from TNB, right? Which is the energy, the kilowatt hour. Then we will just divide by 1,000, you get your megawatt hour, and you buy an equivalent amount of REC with the energy that you take from TNB. So that's we do not need much data, just the energy consumption, and you are buying REC for the energy consumption that you take from the grid. That's how the scope 2 works. Okay, so that's the question 1. I hope I answer. If not, you can still feel free to just type your questions. I'll address probably the end Q&A. The second question, Mr. Gadget.
Yeah, second one is from Azri. So any minimum amount of kilowatt purchase for REC?
Right, so presently the REC goes with 1,000 kilowatt hour or 1 megawatt hour, right? I reckon that is the most smallest size that we can retire a REC to any company, organization who wants to purchase REC. Now, the thing is, what is 1,000 kilowatt hour or 1 megawatt hour, right? If we look at it from the house, your house electricity consumption, right? So 1 megawatt hour is roughly about your per month about 400 ringgit plus of electricity bill. So generally, as a large consumer, right, large power consumer, whether it's a commercial or industrial segment, you will tend to use far more than that, right? So depending on your size, whether it's a commercial, industrial, generally the industrial segment tends to use more than that. Okay, so that's the second question. Now I'll just move on a bit. Now there are some requirements by our stakeholders on how do we provide REC, right, in Malaysia, right? There are generally 3 main requirements. Number 1, the REC that we are providing, it's only for any company or multinational company that's based in Malaysia only, right? So if you have a record that sometimes you might have manufacturing plant out of Malaysia, we are not able to provide REC, right, for your plant out of Malaysia, but it's only for your operation in Malaysia. Second, we can provide REC up to 100% of the electricity that you have taken from TNB. So you can buy either 100% or lesser. You can even buy 50% or 80% or whichever volume that's aligned with your sustainability goal. Third, when we sell a REC to you, right, to any organization or company who purchases the REC, you cannot resell it So we sell to you and we retire the rack directly to you for your plant operating in Malaysia. You cannot buy from us and resell it, right? That's not allowed. So that's how the 3 guidelines on how racks work in Malaysia, right? Now going on to a bit next, what do we do next? So I've given an overview on what REC is, how that can actually assist you to, ladies and gentlemen, to achieve your green electricity target or your sustainability goal, or towards carbon neutrality under scope 2 only, not scope 1, not scope 3. Now, how do we go next? Right? So we can either contact to our the organizer of this event, our government and large business. We have the respective PIC. I believe that they probably will share the context later on. And this is where we can further discuss on how much racks you require, right? Because every company or organization has different sustainability goals. So we will need to know in depth. You also need to know your energy consumption, and then that's when we can provide you the proposal. Okay, so after providing you proposal, if you're okay with it, then we will go into a contract, the sales and purchase agreement, right? Presently, it's only about 1 to 3 years, not more than that, contract that we're allowing. Then after that, we will then invoice you or charge you based on your actual consumption that is metered. After payment is done, then we retire the certificate to you. So these are the 4 easy steps on how you can acquire the rack, or you can always visit our website, www.mguts.malaysiangreenattributetrackingsystem.com.my. That's also another way for you to get more information. We have a slot, or we have a column there for you to also put your information. You can contact us directly, right? So these are the ways how you can actually acquire the REC. Apart from that, we have also trademarked the rack logo, and that we are coming out with more rankings and transparency, so that there is also the gold, silver, and bronze. If you achieve true rank, if you achieve more than 90%, example, you're like RE100 or RE90, then that is where, or sorry, 91, then that's where we will allow you to use the rack logo, right? You can use it at your website and so forth. Alternatively, we also contact with the purchaser to get your consent and put your company logo in our website, right? So there's also ranking gold, silver, and bronze, similar to what you will also see the RE100 website. Or in Malaysia, right, more commonly known, you have the GBI, the Green Building Index, with the rankings. And in short, in summary, right, this is my last slide. How can REC benefits to all the ladies and gentlemen here today, right, or any companies or organization was listening to the Malaysian REC sharing session? Number one, the REC will the REC will actually assist you, right, to zeroize your emission coming from the electricity that you purchase from TNB. So that's under the scope 2 only, right? So more commonly used is that the emission factor. For every 1 megawatt hour of electricity that you take from the grid, the emission factor is 0.639 tons of CO2 to the environment. Okay, so that you can actually calculate from electricity bill, how many megawatt hour or how many kilowatt hour divided by 1,000, you get your megawatt hour. Then you multiply by 0.639 factor. That's the amount of emission of CO2, right, contributed by your company or organization to the environment, right? This factor, it's a reference to the latest Malaysia Third Biennial Update Report to the UNFCCC submission in December 2020. It's by KASA, Kementerian Alam Sekitar dan Air, right? The Ministry of Environment and Water. So when you purchase racks, this is where zero emission factor coming from electricity you purchase from grid. Second, rack that you purchase from us, it's internationally recognized by the IREC standard. So it's aligned with the RE100 or other greenhouse gas protocol and so forth, right? With the other standards as well. Third, the racks will then further use the proceeds from the rack further be used to support the green and sustainable agenda, right? So I think in the coming months, what we will see is that in the MGUTS website, we will also publish what are those green activities that we do, right? Through the funds from this REC proceed. So you are actually contributing back to the whole sustainability cycle, right? The sustainability agenda. So in general, that's the benefits of the Malaysia REC purchase from TNBX. With that, that ends my last slide. perhaps we can move on to the Q&A session, Mr. Gajan.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Inche Michael. So let's move on to the next one. Okay. Okay, this is from Daniel. So Daniel has asked, is it possible to purchase or package REC for multiple TNB accounts, bracket different business names under a single REC?
So thank you, right? Yes, the answer is yes. It's best for you to, under your group of companies, you consolidate all your accounts, right? Because sometimes your operation could be all over in Malaysia, right? If those pops and mom shops, or even those from banking sectors, you have a lot of retail outlets out there, it's best to consolidate all, right? Given us all the TNBC, your customer account number, and that's where we provide the proposal in totality. With that, the costs for this year would also be much lower.
Thank you very much. Our next one is from Abdul Rahman. By having REC, what is the benefit from government, example tax, as well as international? Can the product enjoy premium price versus non-REC?
Right, thank you. So I think here the question is there's more recon towards what's the benefit, right? The direct commercial benefit. So presently, right, there is no tax exemption, simply because there are certain policies not in place yet, right? Say example, you achieve a certain amount of percentage of reduction or carbon neutrality, you can get certain tax exemption, which I think in other countries in the West, especially in US, the States, right, they have some initiatives. But presently in Malaysia, it's not available. If you are a MNC company, right, say you have your parent company based in US, in California, and that's where you have the tax exemption and whatnot. So then this is where you could explore, check back with your parent company if getting your operation in Malaysia 100% green will entitle your parent company in the States or in Europe, right, or elsewhere out of Malaysia, some form of tax reduction, then we are more glad to assist you to provide you the RECs.
Okay, our next one is from IR Muhammad Hakimi. Is REC recognized by International Green or Carbon Certification Association?
Right. So there are several. If you look back at the list that the Bank Negara has, what do you call that, listed down, right? There is a clear guideline whereby you can use rank under the Greenhouse Gas Protocol standard. That's a very internationally recognized standard, right? Practices, and hence why the REC market, right? We are not the first. REC has started way back in the States, in Europe. There's also in Japan. Our neighboring countries, even Singapore and Thailand, they are also providing RECs, right? It's a mechanism for you to achieve 100% green, right? Simply because there's always limitation for you to actually do on-site direct carbon reduction. And hence the REC mechanism here from the bigger picture is that by purchasing RECs, then the proceeds will then be plowed back to more sustainable efforts, and this in turn, totality, reduce the carbon footprint.
Thank you very much, Inche Michael. That's all we have. I'm looking at the chat box. So yeah, that's all. I guess the last one is probably a comment. It was the most fruitful presentation. Thank you, TNB from IR Yazid, Syarikat, IA Negeri Sembilan. So there you go.
Thank you, and thank you, Engineer Yazid. Thank you.
And,
so
yeah.
So no worries, right? No worries. REC is something new. We only started this for a year, right? I reckon you'll see more press release, or you'll see more things coming out in terms of renewable energy certificate, in terms of ways that TNB can assist you from the sustainability point of view, right? So that companies and organizations can meet their global sustainability goals through the reduction of Scope 1, Scope 2, Scope 3. If you are interested further, you can always contact us. We have contact here, or we would reckon you to liaise with our account manager, right, which is the organizer of today's event, the government and large business from retail, right? I reckon that they have your details and contact. They can further pursue or discuss with you, and we can further provide you the proposal, right, for your consideration, and we can always discuss on the purchasing and the contracting part later on. Right. So with that, I apologize if there's any misunderstanding, but nevertheless, do keep in touch with us, right? So that we can serve you better and assist you to achieve your sustainability goal. Thank you all, and thank you, Gajan. Take care and stay safe.
Thank you very much, Encik Michael. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our 5 sessions and also the Q&A. I also understand that some people who have asked questions that are related to previous sessions. So don't worry, as I mentioned just now, your questions will be answered offline, all right? So don't worry, they will be answered. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on to the trivia quiz. We have got 3 prizes to be given out, touch and go vouchers. Very easy. The first person to type in the chat box will get the opportunity to answer the question. Okay, so I need you all to type Business Solution Seminar. Type in the chat box Business Solution Seminar. And you will get the first priority to answer the question. Okay, we have got Benjamin is first. So can we have the question on screen, please? Okay, so Benjamin, if you could just unmute yourself and just answer the question. Yeah.
So the benefit of solar, definitely for the company, is in terms of energy saving because it consumes from the solar, and also it is sustainable energy that helps environment.
Yeah, congrats. Thank you, Benjamin. You have just won yourself a touch and go voucher. The team will get in touch with you. Okay, we still got 2 more questions, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more questions. I want you all to type 2021. 2021. Type in the chat box 2021. Very simple. 2021. Type in the chat box 2021. Hey, got touch and go vouchers to be given out. Okay, we have a few. Abdul Rahman. By the way, Encik Abdul Rahman, thank you. I noticed you're very interactive in the chat box, so keep it up. Okay, Abdul Rahman, here's your question. This is actually quite easy. It's Encik Michael's session, yeah. So can you unmute?
Okay, again, my answer is Malaysian Renewable Energy Certificates.
Congratulations, Tanya. You just won yourself a touch and go e-voucher. And our final question, okay, final question. I want you all to type the title of this session, Managing Your Energy. So type Managing Your Energy in the chat box and you will stand a chance to answer the question. Okay, we already have Hafiz. Yes, correct. Hafiz Amiri. Yeah, Hafiz Amiri. Yeah. Okay, so your question is, can we have the question on screen, please? What are the 8 steps in the SARE journey? Which one comes first? Okay, this one may be a bit tough lah, as compared to the previous 2. But Hafiz, boleh cuba lah. Yeah, you know the answer, tahu? If not, means can pass lah.
We get next one.
Let's go here. So we'll move on to our next participant, IR Prabhagaran. Can you unmute? What is the 8 steps? No need to mention the 8 steps, but what is the first step in SARE? Supply agreement, renewable energy.
I think give it to next.
Give it to next. I think I tell you what, since this is quite difficult, right? And I think a lot of people, those who know the answer, you type in the chat box. If you know the answer to this is actually quite difficult. I don't know whether anyone can. Hey, that's correct, huh? Okay, so Muhammad Azim, you are correct. That's actually correct. Drafting SARE is the correct first step. So yeah, at least it's much easier this way. So Muhammad Azim, you have just won yourself a touch and go voucher. Congratulations. And yeah, that's the end of our trivia quiz. 5 questions. You will, don't worry if you haven't won, because now we are moving on to the lucky draw session. So lucky draw, anyone can win this. And the lucky draw prize is 1 unit of Fitbit Inspire 2. So yeah, I don't know whether you all are into Fitbit, but I'm a big fan of it. Even though I don't have one, I wish I could have one. We are going to actually showcase a Wheel of Names. So you will see your names, Wheel of Names. I hope you're here. And yeah, let's see who the lucky winner of this Fitbit is. Wang besar, Wang besar, Wang besar, Wang besar. Let's see. Who's the lucky winner? Oh, that's very close, huh? Encik Firdaus. Encik Firdaus. Okay, they are like close to 100 participants. So congratulations, Encik Firdaus bin Muhammad Saleh. You have just won yourself Fitbit Inspire 2. Yeah, if you haven't won, it's okay. You know, our main objective here is on green energy, which I'm very sure you all learn a lot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to move to our closing speech. For that, I'd like to kindly invite Encik Nasaruddin Muhammad Zaini, Chief Customer Officer of Government and Large Businesses, to provide his closing speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause.
Thank you all. Thank you, Gajan. All right, Gajan, in fact, you're a bit funny, Gajan. I must tell you, you're a bit funny. I think you are not the comedian level. You're really you are not the accountant level. You are really the comedian level, which is quite good. Okay, I think I just want to take this opportunity to really thank you all for spending the past 3 hours with us. This is a very valuable time of yours that you spend with us together with the right speakers and all that stuff. I just want to take the opportunity to also introduce or even mention a bit about the new department called this GLB, Government and Large Business, what they are and what we do. What do we do? Yeah, I think at the beginning of this year, we restructure a bit of the Tenaga Retail, whereby we want to be more focused on customers. And then we structure of 2 different groups of customers. One is the SME and residential. These are the volume customers. But the other one is what we call the government and large business, where we gather all the high value customers of Tenaga Nasional. And you are here today because you are part of GLB customers within Tenaga Nasional. And then by virtue of that, we have structured our customers into 9 pillars of customers, be it financial services, logistics customers, manufacturing, federal government and all that. And then each of this sector is served by a dedicated team, meaning to say that for you, you actually have a dedicated team from Tenaga Nasional to serve you. And when we say serving you through an account team, is that you may not have to go to Kedai Tenaga as often as before. You may not have to call care line 15454 as often as before. And you may not have also to visit the website as much as before, because we have a dedicated team for you. So, and the idea of this GLB is being set up, number one, is to serve you better. That's very clear. Basically, all your questions, basically on all your concern on your current accounts and that stuff will be handled correctly and I would say proactively. And number 2, which is more important, is to serve you, to support you to meet your ESG objectives or agenda. As you hear today, the past 3 hours, I think Datuk Megat did mention the importance of companies going and to achieve, doing activities to achieve their ESG agenda. And if you look at the agenda that we have put together today, also is really on, really going towards that. First, Razif talks about the overall solution that we have from Tenaga, followed by Faiz, who talks about the MAVB on energy management, the importance of you to manage your energy consumption. Then followed by Ziha, who talks about the solar implementation. These are all the future of energy as well. And then Sharifah talks about SARE agreement, the importance of SARE. And then we close with the Mike tadi, who talks about the REC, the Renewable Energy Certificate. So I think this is all we are bringing to you from us, from Tenaga Nasional. We bring it to you, to your office, or to even to your knowledge, to make sure that you all are aware of what are available out there from Tenaga Nasional. And it's no longer that you have to wait for, or even that you have to call us. Basically, we will call you to really decide and discuss with you your way forward. And on the chat, I see a lot of questions that are still not yet answered. Definitely, they will be answered. I think that we have already the record of all the questions that have been asked. And then you will be approached by the dedicated account manager that we have to really help you out to really answer those questions. And don't stop the discussion here. Basically, the account manager will also talk to you and see whether there's a need to really to have another session with you in dedicated for you to really for you to understand better in terms of the technology that's presented. being presented. So I think the slides, I think we'll share the slides. I think we also see a lot of comments about asking about the slides. And earlier, I think the slide was not very clear. I think thank you for your patience. We rectified that a bit quickly as well. And since then the slides were a bit clearer, but nevertheless we still provide the slides for you to really digest, to use it within your organization to present to your management. So okay, that's all from me, and thank you again for all your time with us today. And then I was informed also lunch is served, or lunch is delivered to you, and please enjoy the lunch. It is a special lunch. I was made to understand. Thank you to the organizer. I think the marketing team within GLB organized it well. With the MC, there's a bit funny as well, and at the same time to facilitate the whole discussion quite well as well. So this is going to be the first of many, I hope, the first of many. We hope to really do other sessions like this, but maybe different topics, or it could be more similar topics, but more detailed in that sense. Okay, so all right, thank you very much for your participations again, and have a good day. Stay safe. Yeah, stay safe is very important. Now the case is still very high, and we are all at the comfort of our home, and we can still learn new stuff that's brought forward to you as well. Okay, thank you again, Gajan, and back to you.
Thank you very much, Encik Nasaruddin. And ladies and gentlemen, we have got a group photo session to be done. So I'd like to kindly request you all to turn on your webcam. Tolong buka webcam sebab nak tangkap gambar. Let me just check on the other. Yeah. So please turn on your webcams. We're going to take a group photo. Yes, we're going to go in gallery mode. So what's going to happen is on the back end, the organizers will go in gallery mode and we're going to do a screenshot. So I'm going to give you all some time to actually turn on your webcams. Not only that, if you can change your virtual backdrop to the backdrop that TNB has sent to you all, that will also be very nice. You know, everyone's synchronized, everyone's aligned with the backdrop. So turn on your webcams and change your backdrops. We're going to take a group picture. So I'll give you all a few more seconds for you all to do that. Give you all some time. Okay, let me brief you what's going to happen. So we're going to take two group photos. One is a formal one, another one's a freestyle one. Now this group photo is not like a usual group photo because we have to what's that? You have to tahan, like we have to tahan for like 10 seconds because they have to go through a few grids. So I hope you all understand. Okay, so kena tahan emosi for like 10 seconds. And then the organizers will tell me once it's done. Okay, so I assume everyone has already got their webcams on. So I'm going to do a countdown, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do a formal smile. Okay, let's all smile, right? So on the countdown of 3, 2, 1. Okay, I don't know whether you all taken the second grade committee. Have you all taken? No, that was the longest smile I've ever. This is like family photo. Sometimes like one relative piss you off, right? And then family gathering. Okay lah, tunjuk muka sikit. Okay, now that we have already smiled, now it's a freestyle one, right? Freestyle. Whatever pose that you want, superhero pose, whatever you want. Let's do a freestyle. You know, we're all fun. Remember, mental health also very important. So on the count of 1, 2, 3, let's do a freestyle pose. Okay, on the count of 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm already very tired. That's my exercise session for today. That also reminds me I need to work out more. Siapa yang letih itu tahu lah. Okay, thank you so much. I'm very sure the pictures have been taken. Saya juga ingin meminta maaf sebab terlanjur masa. I know it's your lunch time. I hope you're enjoying your lunch. I know some of you are eating while enjoying this session. Most importantly, that I think we have gotten a very it was a very insightful session. Even for myself, even though I'm an MC stand-up comedian coming from an IT and engineering background, I always push people to go green energy, and I always talk about data. So data is everything. Data is king, right? Having data is one thing. Also crunching the data is another thing, and then doing the analysis and doing predictive analysis is also another thing. Corrective, preventive maintenance, very important. And it is the present and future. And not only that, I also like to touch again from IR 4.0, right? Malaysia, we need to move faster in IR 4.0, and this is one of the main things. We talk about AI, machine learning, and green energy. So thank you so much, ribuan terima kasih kepada hadirin sekalian. Thank you so much for those who attended. I really appreciate, your investment of energy and time. Reminder to fill up the feedback. Was there a feedback on Zoom poll? You all might receive a feedback on Zoom poll. Please fill that up. Enjoy your lunch. Most importantly, stay safe and stay happy. Thank you so much.
Hai, selamat datang. Ingin tahu bagaimana untuk menaik taraf bekalan elektrik anda? Mudah sahaja di My TNB Portal. Anda boleh buat sendiri je. Tak perlu minta pertolongan Azraf atau Ashraf untuk menukar taraf. Pertama, klik butang apply dan kemudian klik butang seperti yang tertera. Macam mana kami boleh membantu? Anda klik saja butang yang ditunjukkan, pilih akaun pilihan anda dan klik butang next. Teruskan dengan memilih untuk downgrade iaitu turun taraf atau upgrade iaitu naik taraf. Kalau sama taraf, tak perlu buat permohonan lah ya. Semua info tu betul kan? Kalau dah pilih, terus klik butang next. Sebelum anda teruskan, pastikan anda sediakan dokumen yang diperlukan dan klik butang Start Application. Sila muat naik dokumen yang diperlukan di ruangan yang disediakan. Sila pastikan maklumat anda yang tertera adalah betul. Selepas itu, masukkan alamat email dan nombor telefon anda. Masih mudah kan prosesnya? Ikut je, mesti sampai punyalah. Masukkan maklumat-maklumat tambahan wakil anda yang boleh kami hubungi. Jumlah bil yang perlu dibayar akan ditunjukkan dan anda mempunyai pilihan untuk membayarnya sekarang atau kemudian. Kalau tak ada duit nak makan, bayar kemudian sikit pun tak apa. Seterusnya, klik butang Save and Proceed. Pilih kawasan yang berdekatan dengan premis anda untuk mengatur temu janji dengan kontraktor yang dilantik. Jangan ambil jauh-jauh. Banyak pula claim mileage nanti. Seterusnya, klik butang Save. Anda diberi pilihan untuk memilih kontraktor yang anda inginkan. Jika ada yang berkenan, setkan waktu untuk temu janji melawat tapak. Melawat tapak ya, bukan temu janji candlelight dinner. Kemudian, pastikan anda baca dan setuju dengan semua terma dan syarat. Kalau tak setuju, tak ke mana kita ni? Dan klik butang Submit. Nantikan temu janji ya. Pakai cantik-cantik. Terima kasih. Hai, selamat datang. Akaun tak jumpa bila masukkan nombor kad pengenalan? Maksudnya tak link lah tu. Tapi jangan risau. Kami ada penyelesaiannya. Mudah sahaja di My TNB Portal. Jom tengok caranya. Klik butang Help and Support dan pilih ruangan Submit Inquiry dan klik butang Submit. Seterusnya, klik butang Proceed. Pilih akaun yang anda ingin kemaskini dan pilih pilihan Update Personal Inquiry dan klik butang Continue. Kemaskini mana-mana maklumat yang berkaitan. Dan muat naik dokumen-dokumen di ruangan yang disediakan. Pastikan maklumat untuk dihubungi juga dikemaskini. Kemudian, pastikan anda baca dan setuju dengan semua terma dan syarat. Dan klik butang Submit. Selesai pun. Lepas ni, link lah tu. Jumpa lagi. Hai, selamat datang. Hidup ini penuh dengan persoalan. Anda pun mesti ada banyak nak tanya kan? Tanya aja di My TNB Portal. Tapi janganlah tanya saya dah kahwin ke belum. Call me. Jom tengok caranya. Klik butang Help and Support dan pilih ruangan Submit Inquiry dan klik butang Submit. Seterusnya, klik butang Proceed. Pilih akaun yang anda ingin gunakan untuk pertanyaan dan pilih pilihan General Inquiry. Kalau anda berpangkat sahaja pun, tetap pilih General Inquiry tau. Seterusnya, klik butang continue. Masukkan pertanyaan anda di dalam ruangan yang disediakan. Pastikan pertanyaan anda tidak melebihi 500 karakter. Panjang sangat kang takut jadi cerpen. Pertanyaan biar ringkas agar ianya mudah dan senang untuk kami fahami dan beri maklum balas. Muat naik apa-apa dokumen sokongan yang anda rasa perlu. Pastikan maklumat untuk dihubungi juga tepat. Dan klik butang submit. Okeylah, saya pun ada banyak pertanyaan nak dijawab ni. Jumpa lagi. Dalam kesibukan di rumah, ada kalanya kita lupa untuk matikan lampu setelah digunakan. Apa kata gunakan lampu sorot dengan sensor gerakan untuk mengelakkan pembaziran. Cak! Dibuka sendiri. Hai, tahukah anda? Untuk memastikan aircon berfungsi dengan baik, servis aircon selalu, tutup pintu dan tingkap rapat-rapat dan laraskan aircon pada 24 darjah Celsius. Sejuk kan? Tahukah anda, penggunaan adapter elektrik berlebihan mampu membebankan punca kuasa dan soket. Ada kalanya boleh mendatangkan bahaya. Gunakan secara berhemah. Pastikan ada label sirim dulu ya. Hai, selamat datang. Baru beli rumah? Ingin memohon elektrik untuk kediaman anda? Pelajari bagaimana anda boleh memohon dengan hanya beberapa langkah mudah. Tapi pastikan itu rumah anda dulu ya. Langkah pertama, pilih apa yang anda ingin lakukan di portal MyTNB. Klik butang apply dan buat pilihan seperti yang tertera. Mudah kan? Masukkan alamat kediaman anda dan pilih dari pilihan yang tertera. Jangan risau, pilihan ni tak payah restu ibu bapa. Yeay! Alamat anda telah dijumpai. Begitu juga cinta hati saya. Kemudian, klik butang next. Seterusnya, pilih jenis permohonan dari pilihan yang tertera. Sebelum memulakan permohonan, pastikan anda sediakan bukti pemilikan kediaman dan juga salinan kad pengenalan atau pasport. Anda dah bersedia? Klik butang Start Application. Masukkan butiran peribadi anda di ruangan yang disediakan. Makanan kegemaran dan hobi di waktu lapang tak perlulah ya. Jangan lupa sertakan butiran orang yang boleh dihubungi jika anda tiada. Mana tahulah kan bateri habis sebelum kami sempat nak hubungi anda. Klik butang save dan proceed. Kemudian, muat naik bukti pemilikan kediaman dan salinan kad pengenalan atau pasport. Pastikan anda membaca dan memahami semua terma dan syarat. Kemudian, tandakan kotak jika anda setuju. Jika tak setuju, tak ke mana kita ni. Dan akhir sekali, klik butang submit untuk menghantar permohonan anda. Mudah kan? Tahniah! Permohonan anda telah diterima. Simpan nombor rujukan permohonan yang dipaparkan sebagai rujukan. Jumpa lagi! Hai, tahukah anda dengan menggunakan MyTNB anda boleh membayar bil lebih daripada satu? Serentak! Dengan menekan butang tambah, anda boleh bayar bil rumah anda, rumah mak bapak anda, rumah isteri-isteri anda. Hey! Rumah isteri-isteri anda. Dengan MyTNB apps, semuanya di hujung jari anda. Mudah kan? Jangan lupa tekan. Sorry lah. Hai, dah nak hujung tahun dah ni. Mesti ramai dah merancang nak pergi bercuti kan? Tapi sebelum tu, pastikan switch ditutup dan tanggalkan kepala plug daripada soket. Jika digunakan, pastikan gulungan wayar dibuka agar wayar tidak menjadi panas. Bang, balik! Makan! Yelah! Nak pilih bercuti pun tak boleh. Hai, tahukah anda streka memerlukan tenaga yang tinggi ketika dipanaskan? Untuk jimat, gosok je baju untuk seminggu terus. Gosok semua ke? Seminggu ke sebulan ni? Panas kan hari ni? Tahukah anda, aircon dengan sistem inverter mampu menjimatkan tenaga sebanyak 50%. Wow! Saya pun nak beli aircon tahu. Anda je beli aircon dulu. Tak ada duit. Tanya nanti saya call balik. Betul. Okey, bye. Tahukah anda, peralatan dan gadget juga perlu berehat. Apa kata kalau anda tutup TV dan laptop anda dan tinggalkan sementara telefon anda dan luangkan masa bersama keluarga anda.
Ana nak tengok Korea. Yelah.
Hai, selamat datang. Apa? Nak pindah rumah? Pastikan anda tutup dulu akaun bil elektrik anda. Mudah saja di My TNB Portal. Harap penutupan akaun ini bukanlah satu perpisahan ya. Pertama, klik butang apply dan kemudian klik butang seperti yang tertera. Pilih akaun mana yang anda ingin tutup dan klik butang next. Sebelum anda teruskan, pastikan anda sediakan dokumen yang diperlukan dan klik butang start application. Seterusnya, pilih kegunaan semasa premis. Tiada pilihan untuk rumah berhantu ya. Kalau dah pilih, terus klik butang Save and Proceed. Di paparan seterusnya ada menunjukkan rujukan pembayaran untuk bulan-bulan terdahulu. Harap tiada yang tertunggak ya. Terus klik butang Save and Proceed. Sila pilih tarikh untuk kami memutuskan bekalan elektrik anda dan kaedah pembayaran untuk pemulangan deposit. Berat hati ini sebenarnya untuk melepaskan. Setelah selesai, masukkan semua info yang tertera. Klik butang Save and Proceed. Sila muat naik semua dokumen diperlukan di ruangan yang disediakan. Kemudian, pastikan anda baca dan setuju dengan semua terma dan syarat. Dan klik butang Submit. Dah selesai pun. Bolehlah pindah dengan tenang. Jangan lupa bertugas apa dengan jiran baru tau. Jumpa lagi. Hai. Tahukah anda, penggunaan gadget elektronik sewaktu dicas mampu mendatangkan bahaya dan kecederaan. Tanggalkan dulu pengecas jika hendak digunakan atau jika perlu cas, tinggalkan sementara gadget elektronik anda sehingga ia selesai dicas. Nizam, sabar. Tunggu sampai habis cas tau. Sabar.
Mana boleh sabar? Aku nak juga. Apa kau ni?
Hai, selamat datang. Nak tukar nama pada bil elektrik anda? Mudah sahaja di My TNB Portal. Tukar nama pada bil tau. Bukan di kad pengenalan. Pertama, klik butang apply dan kemudian klik butang seperti yang tertera. Masukkan alamat premis anda di ruangan yang disediakan. Pastikan alamat premis anda betul ya. Dan klik butang next. Kemudian, pastikan jenis premis anda. Adakah anda penyewa ataupun pemilik kediaman? Kalau dua-dua bukan, anda mungkin dah salah tempat ni. Jika penyewa, pastikan anda mempunyai dokumen sokongan dari pemilik sebenar seperti yang tertera. Dah bersedia? Klik butang Proceed. Sila masukkan maklumat anda sebagai pemilik baru. Masukkan juga maklumat tambahan untuk dihubungi. Yang ni boleh letak nama isteri, ayah atau keluarga rapat. Jangan letak nama artis kegemaran pula. Susah pula nak dihubungi nanti. Seterusnya, klik butang Save and Proceed. Pilih tarikh yang anda ingin elektrik dibekalkan ke premis anda. Lagi cepat, lagi bagus. Klik kotak yang tertera. Jika alamat surat menyurat yang baru sama dengan alamat premis, klik butang yang disediakan. Mudah betul lah. Akhir sekali, sila ikuti 2 langkah mudah ini untuk memuat naik dokumen yang diperlukan. Langkah pertama, klik butang download untuk memuat turun salinan borang permohonan sebagai rujukan. Borang ni tak payah muat naik semula ya, tak nak menyusahkan anda. Baik kan kami? Langkah kedua, sebagai pemilik akaun yang baru dan juga dokumen dari pemilik akaun asal, muat naik semua dokumen diperlukan di ruangan yang disediakan. Kemudian, pastikan anda baca dan setuju dengan semua terma dan syarat. Kalau anda tak setuju, tak ke mana kita ni? Dan klik butang Submit. Tahniah! Sedap nama tu. Jumpa lagi. Hai, selamat datang. Ingin tahu bagaimana untuk menaik taraf bekalan elektrik anda? Mudah sahaja di My TNB Portal. Anda boleh buat sendiri je. Tak perlu minta pertolongan Azraf atau Ashraf untuk menukar taraf. Pertama, klik butang apply dan kemudian klik butang seperti yang tertera. Macam mana kami boleh membantu? Anda klik saja butang yang ditunjukkan, pilih akaun pilihan anda dan klik butang next. Teruskan dengan memilih untuk downgrade iaitu turun taraf atau upgrade iaitu naik taraf. Kalau sama taraf, tak perlu buat permohonan lah ya. Semua info tu betul kan? Kalau dah pilih, terus klik butang next. Sebelum anda teruskan, pastikan anda sediakan dokumen yang diperlukan dan klik butang start application. Sila muat naik dokumen yang diperlukan di ruangan yang disediakan. Sila pastikan maklumat anda yang tertera adalah betul. Selepas itu, masukkan alamat email dan nombor telefon anda. Masih mudah kan prosesnya? Ikut je, mesti sampai punyalah. Masukkan maklumat-maklumat tambahan wakil anda yang boleh kami hubungi. Jumlah bil yang perlu dibayar akan ditunjukkan dan anda mempunyai pilihan untuk membayarnya sekarang atau kemudian. Kalau tak ada duit nak makan, bayar kemudian sikit pun tak apa. Seterusnya, klik butang Save and Proceed. Pilih kawasan yang berdekatan dengan premis anda untuk mengatur temu janji dengan kontraktor yang dilantik. Jangan ambil jauh-jauh. Banyak pula claim mileage nanti. Seterusnya, klik butang Save. Anda diberi pilihan untuk memilih kontraktor yang anda inginkan. Jika ada yang berkenan, setkan waktu untuk temu janji melawat tapak. Melawat tapak ya, bukan temu janji candlelight dinner. Kemudian, pastikan anda baca dan setuju dengan semua terma dan syarat. Kalau tak setuju, tak ke mana kita ni? Dan klik butang Submit. Nantikan temu janji ya. Pakai cantik-cantik. Terima kasih. Hai, selamat datang. Akaun tak jumpa bila masukkan nombor kad pengenalan? Maksudnya tak link lah tu. Tapi jangan risau. Kami ada penyelesaiannya. Mudah sahaja di My TNB Portal. Jom tengok caranya. Klik butang Help and Support dan pilih ruangan Submit Inquiry dan klik butang Submit. Seterusnya, klik butang Proceed. Pilih akaun yang anda ingin kemaskini dan pilih pilihan Update Personal Inquiry dan klik butang Continue. Kemaskini mana-mana maklumat yang berkaitan. Dan muat naik dokumen-dokumen di ruangan yang disediakan. Pastikan maklumat untuk dihubungi juga dikemaskini. Kemudian, pastikan anda baca dan setuju dengan semua terma dan syarat. Dan klik butang Submit. Selesai pun. Lepas ni, link lah tu. Jumpa lagi. Hai, selamat datang. Hidup ini penuh dengan persoalan. Anda pun mesti ada banyak nak tanya kan? Tanya aja di My TNB Portal. Tapi janganlah tanya saya dah kahwin ke belum. Call me. Jom tengok caranya. Klik butang Help and Support dan pilih ruangan Submit Inquiry dan klik butang Submit. Seterusnya, klik butang Proceed. Pilih akaun yang anda ingin gunakan untuk pertanyaan dan pilih pilihan General Inquiry. Kalau anda berpangkat sahaja pun, tetap pilih General Inquiry tau. Seterusnya, klik butang Continue. Masukkan pertanyaan anda di dalam ruangan yang disediakan. Pastikan pertanyaan anda tidak melebihi 500 karakter. Panjang sangat kang takut jadi cerpen. Pertanyaan biar ringkas agar ianya mudah dan senang untuk kami fahami dan beri maklum balas. Muat naik apa-apa dokumen sokongan yang anda rasa perlu. Pastikan maklumat untuk dihubungi juga tepat. Dan klik butang Submit. Okeylah, saya pun ada banyak pertanyaan nak dijawab ni. Jumpa lagi. Dalam kesibukan di rumah, ada kalanya kita lupa untuk matikan lampu setelah digunakan. Apa kata gunakan lampu sorot dengan sensor gerakan untuk mengelakkan pembaziran. Cak! Dibuka sendiri. Hai, tahukah anda Untuk memastikan aircon berfungsi dengan baik, servis aircon selalu, tutup pintu dan tingkap rapat-rapat dan laraskan aircon pada 24 darjah Celsius. Sejuk kan? Tahukah anda, penggunaan adapter elektrik berlebihan mampu membebankan punca kuasa dan soket. Ada kalanya boleh mendatangkan bahaya. Gunakan secara berhemah. Pastikan ada label sirim dulu ya. Hai, selamat datang. Baru beli rumah? Ingin memohon elektrik untuk kediaman anda? Pelajari bagaimana anda boleh memohon dengan hanya beberapa langkah mudah. Tapi pastikan itu rumah anda dulu ya. Langkah pertama, pilih apa yang anda ingin lakukan di portal MyTNB. Klik butang apply dan buat pilihan seperti yang tertera. Mudah kan? Masukkan alamat kediaman anda dan pilih dari pilihan yang tertera. Jangan risau, pilihan ni tak payah restu ibu bapa. Yeay! Alamat anda telah dijumpai. Begitu juga cinta hati saya. Kemudian, klik butang next. Seterusnya, pilih jenis permohonan dari pilihan yang tertera. Sebelum memulakan permohonan, pastikan anda sediakan bukti pemilikan kediaman dan juga salinan kad pengenalan atau pasport. Anda dah bersedia? Klik butang Start Application. Masukkan butiran peribadi anda di ruangan yang disediakan. Makanan kegemaran dan hobi di waktu lapang tak perlulah ya. Jangan lupa sertakan butiran orang yang boleh dihubungi jika anda tiada. Mana tahulah kan bateri habis sebelum kami sempat nak hubungi anda. Klik butang save dan proceed. Kemudian, muat naik bukti pemilikan kediaman dan salinan kad pengenalan atau pasport. Pastikan anda membaca dan memahami semua terma dan syarat. Kemudian, tandakan kotak jika anda setuju. Jika tak setuju, tak ke mana kita ni? Dan akhir sekali, klik butang submit untuk menghantar permohonan anda. Mudah kan? Tahniah! Permohonan anda telah diterima. Simpan nombor rujukan permohonan yang dipaparkan sebagai rujukan. Jumpa lagi! Hai, tahukah anda, dengan menggunakan MyTNB, anda boleh membayar bil lebih daripada satu. Serentak! Dengan menekan butang tambah, anda boleh bayar bil rumah anda, rumah mak bapak anda, rumah isteri-isteri anda. Hey! Rumah isteri-isteri anda. Dengan MyTNB apps, semuanya di hujung jari anda. Mudah kan? Jangan lupa tekan. Sorry lah. Hai, dah nak hujung tahun dah ni. Mesti ramai dah merancang nak pergi bercuti kan? Tapi sebelum tu, pastikan switch ditutup dan tanggalkan kepala plug daripada soket. Jika digunakan, pastikan gulungan wayar dibuka agar wayar tidak menjadi panas. Bang, balik! Makan! Yelah! Nak pilih bercuti pun tak boleh. Hai, tahukah anda, streka memerlukan tenaga yang tinggi ketika dipanaskan. Untuk jimat, gosok je baju untuk seminggu terus. Gosok semua ke? Seminggu ke sebulan ni?